is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Water.
It's motorsport, but not as you know it. Test yourself and your everyday road car. Safe, affordable, but most of all, fun. And all you need is your daily driver. Experience the thrill of a sprint day, race against the clock at a hill climb, or test your reflexes with an auto test. It takes just 3 simple steps to get started. Get on the start line. Search Motorsport Australia Daily Driver today.
Fishies in a row. They're here to make a point and to do Eddie proud. They fan out in the background as they come down to turn 1 for the first time. It all looks pretty good, 2 by 2. We'll stop the camera here. Oh, Eddie would be proud, mate. That was awesome run around turn 1. But, oi! Contact with the fishies.
He's made it through. It doesn't look like Angus has made it, but Thomas Freeman's made it through, and Angus is going to suffer the crowd coming through there to be able to turn his car around.
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
whatever you ride,
whatever you ride,
ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
And they are off. It was a good start from Dylan to Bono. I think Phil Vella got a great start there in the background as well. You can see already cars going 5, 6 wide as they're trying to find any semblance of space. They come into T1. So far we've got 2, 3 wide as they snake down. There's Michael Conchar that's got around Dylan de Bono. A couple of cars going wide there. Was that a bit of contact in the back? Scott Pocock caught up in that, I think, there, buddy. But it's Michael Cullajar's got past, so Dylan...
light is coming out and we're about to get going, and we have a green light and a very slow start for the 86s, but they are moving out there on the grid. It would be very interesting to see exactly which driver can capitalise on this first lap. Just go through the grid. Look like Jamie Christensen had a really awesome start to get ahead of Dylan de Bono, and Doug Gowage also jumped his teammate as well, so unfortunately Dylan stalled the car a little bit more than what he preferred. But
Weekend in, weekend out, Motorsport Australia officials are making waves. From waving flags, waving cars through pit lane, or responding to a wave for help. Wave hello to new lifelong friends. Who knows, you might just make waves around the world. Ride the first wave. Search Motorsport Australia officials today.
Still great classes of car, and if you are able to, if you're coming up the ranks on iRacing through the licenses, it's a fantastic sort of laneway into prototype driving, going from that GT3 up through the prototype classes. As the safety car pulls in, we get ready to go green as we come up towards the line. Edwards, Hasler, who's going to get the jump down to turn 1, or will any of the fishies, any of the piranhas in behind them, assault them down towards
green and they're
this
off.
first lap? Let's go here.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's.
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. Very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolute thinker, but it's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the SRW TV Shannon's GR86 Nationals Round 3, and this time we are heading to Indy Road Circuit. I'm James Parker, going to be joined in the booth by Steve Sinkovic here this evening, who's going to be alongside me, bringing us the action once more. We've got 3 20-minute races here, top 10 reverse for race number 2, top 5 reverse for race 3. There will be a 15-minute qualifying that we will cover here this evening as well. So a lot of action to bring you. Hope you are well. Welcome into YouTube chat if you are here. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz that you can do for completely free on YouTube. The schedule itself, well, we're at Indy Road Course, and then we head to Chicago next week for the street course. That is going to be an interesting one. Detroit GP for Belle Isle, then we're off to Mid-Ohio on the next after that. New Hampshire will round it off. That is the road course with the oval. And then we've got Road Atlanta full course, and then we finish off at Homestead Road Course as well. Scores on the doors currently at the moment here. You can see on your standings, it is Jamie Davis leading the pros with Doug Gowans in second, David Gallo in third, Daniel Byrne in fourth, Sam Katakuzinos in fifth, Dan Batush in sixth, Shane Ratcliffe seventh, Ben Faulkner in eighth, Dylan DeBono ninth, and Joshua Houghton in 10th in the Pro-Am standings. Ty Delaney is on top. However, Ty has been promoted to the pros, so his scores will carry over after next week. Cam Hardwick in second with Mark Cochran third, Mark Taylor in fourth, Jack Anderson in fifth with Ryan Price and Mitch Noble, Jordan Ferguson, Matt Feely, Wayne Edwards, Tyler Sheaf, and Dean Sinkovic in 12th. In the AM standings currently is Josh King out in front in first place with Stephanie Pickley in second, Martin Walker in third, Greg Johnston fourth, and Carl Gretsch in fifth. Shane Nowens, Phil Buckland, Chris Tomlin, Brad Anderson, Brendan Soper, and Vic Bensvaden round out the drivers there as well. Indianapolis Road Course consumed in 2014. That's when it was made. 2.439 miles, 3.925 kilometres for all you people that don't use miles. But I've waffled on long enough. Let's bring Steve into the booth. Steve, welcome in. How are you?
Pretty well hanging for this super sprint round. Didn't think we're going to have one so early, but here it is. I think it's the last one for the season, and the room is absolutely packed. So tonight, we've got, at this point in time, 40 cars on grid. 40 cars on grid. It might be actually 41. But that is going to be amazing. Greg Barber is our race director tonight, with Greg Lee driving the safety car, and he should be backed up by Adam Hughes as well. So see how the boys go out there tonight. But tonight, we have a 60% chance of rain, JP. What do you think about that?
Chaos. In the politest possible term, I think it's going to be quite chaotic if there is rain, to be fair, and it looks like it's already coming down on your screen right as we speak there. We've got lightning kicking off as well over in Indy. Well, I didn't realise, the lightning's going to be here, but I think this could flip everything on its head. The rain is the great equalizer of people's driving, and I think that's going to make it a completely different situation. We've got some on dries, some on wets as they start heading out to the circuit now. 15 minutes of qualifying here. Anything's going to happen, I think, with rain. What do we think in terms of winning once again? Are we expecting Ben Faulkner to run away with it? Do we think, other people are going to be able to challenge him? I just find it hard with him at the moment.
Look, I think Ben is he's good in the wet as well. So we're going to see some boys out there battling away. It might bring the playing field down a bit. But we'll just have to wait and see, mate. I can see that the already, you can see as the rain started, you can see the rooster tails behind the cars themselves. That's the only way the drivers can really determine how much rain is falling. So the bigger the rooster tail, the more rain is actually covering the actual track. They'll see patches of water start to appear, but the key thing is going to be, while they still see a rooster tail, the track's going to be wet. So the switching back to dries, if it does happen during the course of the race, is going to be the tricky part. So that's going to be the key indicator for the boys.
Yeah, we've got some out on dries. John Gallen is on dries at the moment. We'll see how his time goes. Doug Gowans, Jordan Ferguson's on dries. There's a couple, Brad Anderson, Jack Anderson are also on dry tyres, and a couple of others there. Some going out on wet straight at the beginning, some going out on dries. Are the dries hoping to be able to get a banker fast lap in before it gets to the point of where they actually need the wet tyres?
Yeah, 100%. Can you see the rooster tail, how it's not continuous in spots? It's just sort of patchy. That means the dries are still going to work pretty well. It's when there's a continuous rooster tail that the wets are going to start slipping. Even then, at the very beginning of it, the dries are still going to be okay. But that's the edge. That's the edge. When the full rooster tail comes out is when they are going to have to decide which lap they go in. If they miss it by half a lap, they're going to be out there. They're going to be stuck out there. Just goes slippery on it, so disappears.
We've had Dylan DeBono go off the side of the circuit there as well. So Dylan's taking a trip over the grass. It's going to be interesting when the first set of times start coming in. Greg Barber, moist. You might see a little bit more than that, Greg, I've got to be honest. Laura Anderson, good evening, lads. Good luck to our SRW Awesome Foursome, JB, Brad, Josh and Mitch. So we'll see how they get on. Times are going to be coming in. They've all just done their outlap now. They're setting the times on the board, and we're keeping an eye at the moment on John Gallen just to see where these dry tyres bring him in. We've got Dougie Gowans out on dries as well. I'm going to be very interested to see what the situation is with these tyres at the moment. Did they need full wets coming out? Did they need dry tyres? Well, I can tell you now, Ben Faulkner is on the wets and he's out on a 142.771, and obviously with Ben, if he's rapid as he is, well, it gives you a good idea that wets might be a good thing to jump onto. But we'll see what John can do and see how he gets on here and what sort of time we have. I think if this is going to rain continuously, I think these dry guys are going to have to go in and put wets on, but it depends on what John does in terms of lap time. He goes second, so he's still not miles off the pace here, Steve, with his dry tyres.
Yeah, there's still marginal difference in it. There's still not enough rain out there, I think, for see how they're just coming around. You can just see the tyres in certain spots. Not until this continual tail coming off those tyres. It's getting more. You can see it's getting more prominent, but that's going to be the key. I don't know what sort of effect the runoff is going to give. Like these boys going off the dirt just like there, we're seeing Gallen go off. How much is that going to affect his tyres coming back on track? You know, are they going to be extra wet, or how's the method behind iRacing going to work when it comes to that sort of thing? So I know when you get dirty tyres in a normal track, it takes a while, but I haven't experienced the track off run and then coming back with the tyres all wet and supposedly muddy.
I think that's going to be an interesting one to play. I will say one thing now that I have experienced myself in it, that if they are on the grass, it's very difficult for them to get off the grass while it is wet. It's something that they're going to have to try and make sure that they don't happen, because if they spin it up and try and accelerate off it, they're just going to bog in and not end up going anywhere. So I think there's a lot of aspects that they're going to have to be aware of this rain to see what is going to make the car work best. One of them, probably at this point, I would look at Ben Faulkner and think, maybe I should stick wets on, because Cam Hardwick's on the dries. He's gone into second at the moment on a 142.82. Yeah. Dylan DeBono's on the dries, on dry tyres, and he's gone a 142.58. So I think the dries are dependent on who's behind the wheel.
Yeah, 100%. And you can see there's not a continuous tail there. So I'd be, if I was out there at the moment, I'd be on dries as well. That would be my tick. But you know what, Ben Faulkner would whip my ass in wets on dry anyway. So he's going to be up and about there no matter what. He's got the pace behind him. So it's good to see Cam Hardwick all the way up there again as well. He's the Velocity Sim boys coming up there and battling up there with Ben Faulkner. John Gallen's had a impressive week in the V8s this week, so hopefully he backs that up as he comes through. Jamie Davis, a bit of consistency, he's up there in 5th already as well, so we'll see. Caleb Ballack, we know that Caleb's no slouch. He'll be out there fighting, and down bar 2 shot, Ty Delaney's just popped up into 6th.
Yeah, it's definitely a mixture of wet and dries. De Bono dry, Faulkner wet, Hardwick, Gallen are on dries, and then you've got Davis, Delaney and Bellac who's in on the wet tyres. Dan Batouche dries. Josh Howard's just put himself into 9th on a 1:43.395. He's currently on the wet tyres as well. So lots of good times coming in at the moment. It's definitely a mixture, and I think that's going to play a massive part in this race. How's it going to be when they get on the start line, Steve? What are they going to be thinking about when it comes to the wets itself? Are they going to be looking at thinking, actually, the wets aren't going to work as such? You know, there's a lot to take on board here, and it's going to be interesting because we have got that Dylan De Bono gentleman on the racetrack who we know is quick in general. I've been looking forward to this battle for absolutely ages. Dylan missed the first one when Ben was here, then Ben missed the second one when Dylan was here, and now we've got them both on track together, the two almost titans of the SRW GR86 on the racetrack together. Surely it can only be epic, right?
Oh, 100%. It's, I guess what you touched on before is, how do you start the race? You don't know what level the rain's going to be at and how wet it's going to be out there at that point, so it's going to be a bit of a punt, you know. Do you start on the dries because some of these boys have gone really fast on the dries, or do you go out on the wets for the start of the race? And for those viewers who have just joined us, you can see there's a blue and a black dot, wet and dry. The black is the D for dry, and the blue is wet. So you can see who's on dries and wet tyres, just say, in case you're missing what me and JP are talking about.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing. It's interesting to see that Ben Faulkner has just gone into the pits and has jumped on the dry tyres. So we will keep an eye on what Ben is going to be able to do on these dry tyres. He clearly went out on wet, set a lap time, got that done by Dylan De Bono. Cam Hardwick as well has also jumped Ben's, and it's now on what Ben's going to do as he's decided dries must be the way to go here, because it isn't quite necessarily full wet at the moment. Mitch Muller, they will be able to do the entire quali with dries at this rate. Well, it's a possibility, but they're going to have to see how the track evolves and see what happens. Obviously, it's like anything, right? The more rain it gets, the wetter you're going to get, and that's just standard common sense, really, I think, on that one.
Yeah.
With that, isn't it? And I think these guys are going to have to play this by ear. They've still got 6 minutes to go. Well, just coming under 5 minutes 10 seconds at the moment. And for Ben out on track, got a little bit held up there as well. Not an ideal lap for him. He's going to have to go again, as I believe that's the 07 machine. That's not Ty Delaney. That is, who is the 07? Delaney's
not sure.
7. It's one of the Velocity Sim Labs. It was Dougie Gowans. Yeah, Doug Gowans on that. Just holding up a little bit. So I think Ben's going to have to go again. I don't think he's going to be improving on his lap time this time around, but I feel if he can get a clean run and find a clean bit of circuit here, Steve, he's definitely going to be able to set a time on the board.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Who's the guy you're going to be watching today, mate?
Mate, there's two. I think for me, Dylan De Bono and Ben Faulkner. I am waiting for this battle. I've been frothing at the mouth for this battle, and I think it's going to be insane. I think these guys battling out on the racetrack are just going to be mental. So I'm really looking to that as well. And they've only got 20 minutes. So that's going to be an interesting one to see how they get on.
Yeah, 100%. And DeBono's got a fair few guys following him on his strategy. I think you've got Ben Faulkner on the other screen. These two are going to be the Titans. I think you're spot on there. It's going to be a race between them two. Let's hope they don't take each other out. I think the guys behind them, the guys that I'm picking that are going to be tight behind them, is going to be my boy Jamie Davis. Tonight, John Gallen, and I'm going to pick Doug Gowans, because the Velocity boys do fly in packs. So they usually have one or two around each other. I think they're going to be close together as well. So they're my boys that I'm going to pick for the top 5 at this point. But we've got 3 races to pick from, so it's going to be all the way through. Rain and Super Sprint, oh, what a formula.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then we just throw a GR86, which can be very rare, happy, can we say, at times as well, with the way it snaps out and the way it does end up spinning the cars around. They're not going to be able to touch the grass. Faulkner's not going to get that lap. He's decided enough is enough. We jump onto some people coming over the line. Caleb Bellick's not really improving at the moment. He's sitting in 7th. Dylan DeBono's not going any faster. He's still on his dry tyres. So Dylan DeBono, Kevin Wakefield and Caleb Bellick, as you can see, coming over the line again, not really improving. Callum Hodgkinson is improving, but he's all the way down in 30th. Dan Burns going to go over the line. David Gallo's gone over the line. Vic Pence-Phelan. Brad Hayes is coming up. Sam Katkazunis has got some greens on the board, but I believe that is Sam's first lap here. So Sam will obviously have greens because he's got nothing to compare against. So let's see how Sam gets on as he goes over the line. Where's he going to put himself? In 30th position. So there seems to be some pros struggling, to be fair, compared to the other pros and the pro-ams there. You know, Sam Katkazunis is a pro. He's all the way down in 30th. Callum Hodgkinson is in 31st. It's going to be a good mix, and we say Reigns is a great equaliser, Steve, and I think it's proven his point here.
Oh, yes, it is. Definitely great equaliser, and we're loving every second of it. To have this come out in iRacing at this time of year is going to be spectacular. I've also, just to give you a heads up, I was in the room earlier on with the boys having a bit of a chin wag, and Greg Johnson said I could drag him in whenever we like, even if it was during the race. So we can take advantage of that at any point. So if you want to drag him in now, even we can then drag him now and tell him and find out what the surface is feeling like.
Yeah, I will do. I'm just going to try and find where he is in.
Qualifying.
If you can grab hold of him on that one. Laura, JP, curious, where are you from? I am from the UK. Yes, I am sat in my house. We've actually got sun this week, so I'm making the most of it, Laura. My hot tub's been a bubbling. I've been sat in there, just chilling out, enjoying the first real dose of sunshine the JP have got.
You don't know what sunshine is, mate. You've got no idea what sunshine is.
I've got a little
Johnson, bit. You tell him sunshine is.
Sunshine? There's none out here.
Well, see.
How is it in the wet, mate? How's it feeling out there? Is it going to be wet tyres for the race?
Oh, dries? Yes. No, wet tyres. There's no way we're going out in this on dries. Oh, there we go. That's the end of it. But the radar's all green at the moment, so well and truly wet. And, wet weather, maximum wing, traction control, ABS, you name it, we're throwing it at it.
All right, what's the plan for the first corner? Are you going to stay out wide and try to avoid the carnage, or are you going to get in amongst it?
I might slot reverse gear for the straight and then go through the corner about 5 minutes after everyone else.
I reckon that's definitely.
Look, definitely try and stay out of trouble. It's the main aim for tonight, mate.
All right, cool. All right, mate, we're going to dump you back in there so you can get ready for the grid. Good
Thanks,
luck
brother.
tonight. We may or may not grab you again.
That's okay, anytime.
All right, cheers, buddy.
Cheers, boys.
Right, there you go.
There you go. It's going to be a wet start.
Yeah, we have got Greg there as well. Now the grid is in front of you. Dylan De Bono in first, Cam Hardwick in second, Ben Faulkner in third, John Gallen in fourth, Jamie Davis fifth, Ty Delaney in sixth. Then you've got Caleb Bellick in seventh, Dan Batouche in eighth, Josh Houghton ninth, Doug Gowan's down in 10th, Marty Walker 11th, and Jordan Ferguson is in 12th. Jackson Pringle, Carl Gretsch round out row 7 with Jack Anderson, Ryan Price on row 8, Mark Turner, Dan Byrne on row 9, David Gallo down in 19th alongside Mitch Noble rounding out row number 10. Wayne Edwards, Luke Crum, Mark Cochran and Brad Anderson round out the top 24. Brad is behind Carl Gretsch. Gretsch all the way up in 14th for the AMS. Great job from him. Kevin Wakefield, Greg Johnston, Vic Spence-Phelan. Then we're into the mix here. We've got Matt Feely, Russell Gander, Sam Katakuzinos, Callan Hodgkinson, Chris Tomlin, Brendan Soper, Phil Butland, Brad Hayes and Stephanie Pickley round out the top 36. I keep going from that one. Shane Nowens is in 37th. Obviously the safety car down in 38th with Shane Ratcliffe, Josh King, Greg Barber, Ben Simpson. Oh, action. We're going to have 42 cars hurtling around here at the moment. It's going to be very, very interesting. Laura, just for your information, I grew up in London and now I live down in Somerset with my family down here and the wife and the kids. So, yeah, that's where we are currently.
You're not a Tottenham or Chelsea supporter, are you?
I'm a Spurs fan, mate.
Oh, all right, let's cancel the show, guys. Everyone, pack your bags.
Mate, I go through the same highs and lows every single season, dude. 1 minute we're up there, 1 minute we're not. It's absolutely insane how heartbreaking Spurs this season can be just by losing 4 games. It's absolutely horrendous. But there we go. Sorry, say that again.
You had 5 on the trot, you plus now.
Yep. It's not going well.
There you go.
Well,
42 cars on track, JP. This is going to be epic. Hope the viewers out there, if you wanted to see someone out there, let us know. Like and subscribe to all those fancy things. These boys are going to go off, and so is JP. So strap yourself to your seats and enjoy.
All right, here we go. It's 1, 2. Whoa, there's a roller on the back. There is one of the SRWs. Jamie Davis has jumped the start. He's not going to go anywhere at the moment, but it is Dylan De Bono leading us down into turn 1. Currently before that sharp right-hander. We're 3 wide further back. Davis is going to have a penalty. He jumped the start regardless of what happens after this one. De Bono leading the way. You can see the spray coming out from all of these cars. There's a big diver at the back. Are they all going to make it through? They're 3 wide through turn 1. Davis is in there as well in the mix. It's all going to be going off on these early doors. Let's see how these 42 cars get on. There's been action further back. I think Matt Feely is in there as well. I just seen Phil Butland. There's a parking lot sat at the end of turn 1 as well. Lots happening going on, but Dylan De Bono escaping out in front, and to be honest, that's probably the best place to be.
Mate, the boys going out wide there. You can see them coming around that final corner. That is the safe place to be. We've seen a little bit carnage down the back that everyone else has made it through. I thought we were going to get a bottleneck, but that was an exceptional way through. And have a look at Ben coming through on the back of Dylan. This is the fight we've been waiting for, mate, and they're already pulling away.
Yeah, they have, and this is the scrap we wanted. This is the scrap we're going to get. Ben Faulkner, Dylan De Bono, his Rain, his GR86s, his Indianapolis on the road circuit. What more can we ask for? There was a big old collision on the back of the start down into turn 1. Looks like Matt Feely's been off track. Greg Johnston's been off track as well. We'll get this first lap underway, and then we'll have a look back and see what the chaos commenced. I can tell you now, it involved Vic Spence-Phelan, Wayne Edwards, Sam Katkazunis, Matt Feely, Brad Anderson, Shane Ratcliffe, and Phil Buckman and Stephanie Pickley was caught up in it here once again. But it is going to be Dylan De Bono. He's going to lead us away. Ben Faulkner in second, John Gallen in third, right behind him. It's going off here, Steve. It's going to be absolutely epic all the way through, and I think this racing is just going to be non-stop.
It's going to go. Look at the way these boys are just coming down straight. The drag, it doesn't look like it's that much under the rain. Have a look at this. 4 wide. These boys are going to be careful. They're switching lanes and switching across each other. Four into one corner. Here we go. Is it going to come out clean?
No.
I mean, it's a bit of love. I'm not sure you're going to be able to pick the winner out of that.
Yeah, I think the RC boys are going to be very, very busy. There's another one there as well. There is a little bit of chaos. Yeah, people have got to settle down a little bit here. Brad Hayes was in that. Vic Valen's been off the side of the circuit again. They're running down 4 wide towards us. You can see them here all coming into the shot. Right on your screen is going to be absolutely mental. There's a big send in the middle. Oh!
Sends it, really makes it through nice and clean. Have a look at that boy go. Someone's just appeared nowhere to be seen. Have a look at Dylan DeBono all the way up the front with Ben Faulkner again. These boys are just going to be slugging it out all night long.
Yeah, side by side now going around turn 12 through the left-hander of 13. Faulkner gets a slide on. That's going to allow DeBono to try and close in there as well. Caleb Belleck's in the mix once again. Further down, we're going to follow this down the straightaway now. You can guarantee there's going to be a pull-out. There's going to be an overtake. But who's going to make it here as well? Dylan DeBono, Ben Faulkner hugging the wall tighter than his favourite grandma at the moment as he heads down the straightaway. Dylan DeBono in there. Still trying to force him off that inside line. Is he going to be able to get his nose in front? He's not this time. He's going to switch to the left-hand side, trying to go around the long way. It'll give him the inside for turn 2. Not going to hold it this time around. And then we got further back.
That fight is bringing Caleb Ballack straight into the mix as well. But everywhere you look, JP, have a look at these 3-4 cars wide again.
Yeah, they're going up.
You're nice and clean.
Yeah, Dan Byrne in there, Gallows in the mix as well. Mark Cochran's fighting his way through. Jordan Ferguson at the front here. He's got Marty Walker in front of him. We've just had Cam Hardwick, who's trying to make moves there as well. He's got the ever flying, what looks like Mitch Noble alongside him as they're heading down into turn 7. The left-hander, we're on board with Mitch now. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens coming into this corner. Mitch Noble, is he going to be able to stop the car? He's like Bambi on ice. He just can't get it stopped, and that allows Cam Hardwick to take it back through. But I can tell you one thing, what is going on up front at the moment? Well, that's Dylan DeBono there, and Ben Faulkner has opened up 1.1 seconds in front of him. Caleb Belleck's tucked in right behind him. John Gallen, Ty Delaney from Fishy Motorsports there. The young lad promoted to pros this week. He's sitting in 5th place, making use of the rain. But there is action all the way through this here, Steve. How do you pick out of this? This is just absolutely mental.
It's just crazy, mate. It's crazy. Even down the field, the whole board is still reading yellow and orange all the way through the system that I'm looking at. So picking a fight to look at is absolutely hectic. And these boys, I'm amazed at the control they're showing tonight through the corner, 3-4 wide. I expected a lot more carnage. The way they've gone through and taken some of these big corners has been amazing. Great work. Take my hat off to him.
Yeah, I think Dylan DeBono here is struggling in the rain at the moment. He has got Caleb Belleck chomping at the bit. You can guarantee Caleb's sitting there just going, let me through. You are obviously slower than I am. Doug Gowans has been off the side of the circuit as well. We'll try and have a look back at that very, very shortly, wiggling their way round through turn 5 and 6. Belleck's going to look for the run as best as he can here on the run down into turn 7. There's 2 cars on your screen at the moment, I promise you. One is DeBono, one is Belleck. Coming into this turn, Belleck pulls out. He needs to make the move. He's not going to be able to make a move. There was a big old slide by John Gallen. Gallen braked and unfortunately was on the curb at the time he braked. That's going to affect it as well. Ty Delaney has lost time. He's cleared Jackson Pringle, but he's lost time to John Gallen in the process. It is all kicking off, and it's still kicking off, Steve, even further down the order there, as we've got Dylan DeBono off the side of the circuit.
We saw him slide out. I'm not sure there was contact there or not. But he's the weather kept the grips on him.
Yeah, that looks really close. Whether or not there was contact with Caleb Belleck, there was. But
I did hear Caleb say sorry. So I'm assuming that there was contact. Dylan did say, all good, mate. So they're still very peaceful about it. Yeah, it looks like he just helped him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's calling it in right now for look out for race control. That's a shame because he was still sitting up pretty high, and every point's going to be really important for this series because the boys are going to be swapping and changing all the way from the top to the bottom. We've got here Josh and Cam Hardwick. Josh Fortin following Cam Hardwick down the main straight. Josh will have a crack here, and he is not disappointing. He's going to have a crack on the inside and have a go at Hardwick. He's taken a quite easy line there. Is he going to be able to hold it? Yes, easily. And they're chasing down my boy Mitch Noble, who's got himself up to 7th place. My goodness, that is a big hike for him. He's up 13 places. He's our biggest mover. Next to Callum Hodgson, who's up 17 places. And then Shane Ratcliffe, Velocity Sim Labs, up 21 places today.
Yeah, some big movers throughout the field at the moment here. You can see they're all on wet tyres. There's the movers, the shakers on the left-hand side. You can see Ratcliffe up 21 places there. We've still got cars running. We have lost a few cars. It looks like we've lost 3 before the start. Doesn't look like they've taken to the start, but John Gallen is side by side at the moment with Ty Delaney. Delaney's trying to look up the inside on the run round turn 11 before they come into the right-hander of 12. Delaney's going to have that inside line. Is he going to be able to make it through? He does. Ty Delaney slots it up and puts it into 3rd place. Well worthy of his promotion, I feel.
Ben Faulkner's got himself a drive-through. Lap 2, exit 3. I'm not sure where that was. It must have been something we missed. But I'm still waiting to see what they're doing with the other decision on Caleb going back of Bono. We'll see what's going on. Luke Crummey's got himself a tail of guys following him behind him. That's the next big battle pack. He's got Mark Walker. He's got Ben Vic Day, Jamie Davis, Ben Soper, Wayne Edwards, Stephanie Piccoli. Always getting a check there. They've asked a question to see who the contact was. Maybe race control got the wrong number.
We'll wait and hear what's going to come out of that. You got Luke Crum there, Jamie Davis alongside with Marty Walker in the mix, Vic Spence-Vale and Josh Houghton's into the pits. He's going to be driving through by the looks of it. I think Davis has also been in and driven through as well. Through turn 1 they go, left-hander at turn 2. There's Marty Walker struggling in the background, but Valen trying to get into that one as currently with Brandon Soper. He's losing places, just lost a place there to Wayne Edwards. Stephanie Piccoli is under attack from Ryan Price and Josh Houghton. Currently, Stephanie in that 091 machine, part of the Apex Esports League as well. So great action all the way through. Faulkner's out in front by 3.8, but we think that's going to change very shortly. Bellick into second, Delaney, Gallen and Dylan De Bono behind him here. These 4 not very far apart on that one. Who was the driver with Ben Faulkner?
Okay, so now Ben Faulkner doesn't have the drive-through penalty. It's actually Josh Horton that has 043 has the penalty. They got the incorrect number, so that's been rectified, and race control has told 043 that he's got himself a drive-through. Now, you had another question for me.
No, not at the moment, because Josh Houghton looks like he's already performed that drive-through. Jamie Davis looks like he's already done one here. Dave Gallo is chasing down Anderson with Hardwick, Byrne, Cochrane and Hodgkinson right in behind them. This draft is going to be lending itself to some great racing. You're going to see the spray that's going to come off Callum Hodgkinson with Shane Ratcliffe and Mark Cochrane. Cochrane's alongside into turn 1. Now is Hodgkinson's going to try the outside. He's not going to have the inside for 2. He got his nose cut off there by Cochrane as Cochrane now heads around turn 3 and turn 4. Are you a lover of this circuit, Steve?
Have I ever run it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out here before, mate. It's not. I don't mind it at all. Anything that goes from the ovals to the inside, I don't mind. It just gives you a bit of difference in surface of the track, as well as just get the high speed that dive into the final corner. Just another update as well. We've got Vic Benzvalzen. He's got a drive-through penalty as well. But these boys are still lighting up the towers like crazy, mate. There is nowhere to breathe.
Yeah.
Here we go, another one coming through.
Unfortunately, Dylan De Bono just looked like he may have just helped John Gallen round there. He did do, then Gallen's trying to get it under control, just can't quite get it there at the moment, and unfortunately Dylan De Bono may have a penalty incoming after that one. He's got Jackson Pringle right behind him from the Vermilion Motorsports team here. Then we've got Gallo and his battle with Anderson, Hardwick, Byrne, Cochrane, and then further back from that we've got Matt Feely. He's got Greg Johnston, Josh King, Jamie Davis behind him, all scrapping it out as well. So a lot going on this race circuit at the moment, and a lot of action taking place here. There are the classes of the pros, pro-ams and the AMs, and as you can see, the leaders in each class has got a little bit of a gap, even down to Chris Tomlin, who's leading the AMs.
Just about to ask you to put up the splits for us so we can see who's where and where. I've got you one of your favourites, Mr. Gallo on the other screen, so if you wanted to watch him as well, mate, he's there. I know he's one of the guys that you follow. Ben Faulkner, Ty Delaney, Dylan Blono in the pros. Mitch Noble, my boy, Jake Anderson and Cameron Hardwick for the Pro-Ams. Chris Tomlin having a cracker out there. Kevin Wakefield and Greg Johnson. Mr. Johnson we had in the room before, and he said it was ready to go in the wets. Mate, this is a lot less carnage than I expected.
Well, I think once they got the beginning out the way, it made it a lot less carnage, to be fair, because there was a little bit of obviously beginning right at the beginning of the race. I think that was where some of the main drama happened, and you see Kevin Wakefield chasing down Tomlin on your screen at the moment. So let's see how he gets in. Gallo is sitting in 8th. He's down in the bottom right-hand corner. He's got Anderson trying to close him down. They've got about a second apart from each other at this moment in time, into the last 5 minutes, and it's been very, very hectic for the opening race of the evening. And guess what? Don't go anywhere, because there's still 2 more to come here, and it's going to provide even more action as Cam Hardwick with Dan Byrne and Mark Cochrane and Callum Hodgkinson are still fighting it out in 11th, 12th and 13th in that Pro-Am situation. So a lot happening here, Steve. It's been one of them manic races. Once we got past at about lap 3, lap 4, it started to settle down after that.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's really still settled down, but yeah, it's pretty close. It's they're still passing anyway. Yeah, the boys down in the back of the field in 20th and 30th are still putting on fights. Viewers, we've got 42 cars on track, so we're trying to give you as much love as we can. If you've got someone you want to see, please let us know. We will spread the love everywhere we can. We've got 2 cameras going on track, so we can see a lot of it. But it's just where to look and where to find. Hopefully we don't miss it. Price is on the back of Brendan Soper, right at the back of the field, giving them a lot of love. This is a good little fight too. Jackson Pringle, he's putting up a great race today.
Yeah, he's got Dylan De Bono. De Bono is struggling, what looks like he's struggling, especially down in turn 1 here. He's just not being able to get that GR86 stop there. Got a bit of a slide coming out of turn 7 into the right-hander of 8. Now they're going to go left again for 9. And then just to top it off, they've got one more right to do before they go on to the long run around turn 11. There you go. That is not how you do that.
I'm tipping a penalty for Pringle because you've got to avoid the incident no matter what the pace is, and Dylan was still on track, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's on the grass.
Yeah, how far off was he? Nah, he's still on track. He's got wheels on there. He's not to get back a bit further for the...
No, I don't think so. Dylan De Bono was on the grass. He's trying to come back on. Pringle was just carrying this. Oh, I don't know.
You know what? The rules... I'll leave that one for the RC. The rule is if he's got tyres on the black stuff, he's still on track, and he still had 2 on there. But it's going to be one for the boys upstairs to have a look at. One of many, I might add, because there's a lot of little dingles going on all the way through. They're just calling that Marty Feely's dropping in and out like crazy, so he might have to go back to the pits and sort his internet out. But have a look at this, mate. 3 coming down the end, sprinting to the final corner. 2 Vermeulen cars, 3 Velocity cars. And, come on, Callum. What happened there? I was just about to say Blackout OPR. That's Callum's new team name. They used to be Crisscross, so they hadn't had a update in names.
There you see Cam.
I think Callum's turned down on him from there. I don't think he's realised that there was 3 wide there, and he's just assumed that he was going to turn closer. That's going to be another one for the RC. Do you think Dylan's more aggressive style tonight is what's held him back?
Yeah,
because he does love to ride the curves a lot more than most drivers out there. Do you reckon that's what's held him back a bit?
Yeah, I think overall he's not comfortable in this rain at the moment. He was battling away with Faulkner. We thought there was going to be an epic battle, and just ever since then he's been caught up in an incident with Bellick that gave Bellick a drive through. He's been caught up in an incident again as well. So I'm a little bit worried that people seem to be caught up in incidents with Dylan, who is slow at certain points. His rear tyre was on the grass, so he wasn't going to get any acceleration. They're going to get penalties for it, which I don't know. I seeing the flip side of that coin, I think, on that one, Steve.
We'll say what that race control says. They'll look at it a lot different angles for us. There's a lot of rules that are going to apply to that. Because the passing vehicle has to make a safe pass. The guy that's outside needs to maintain control. So there's a lot of things they're going to look at. I'll leave that up to them. It's not my asking night tonight, so thank God for that. But how good's that? They're really bad. The SRW car. I was going to say, how good's that SRW car look flying down in the silver? Loving the look of it. Oh, he's making a dive on the inside as well.
Yeah, he's got Matt. This is Feely, Jordan Ferguson and Josh King. Jordan, the only Englishman in the field as well, repping for the UK. Go Josh, go Jordan. Let's see how he gets on there. But he has got Josh King behind him and Feely in front of him. Marty Walker's blinking in and out. He's just got up. Adam Hughes has jumped back to the pitch. Shane Nowens has been off the side of the circuit. I got a funny feeling that might have included Vic Bensvalen, as the two of them were on and off together. So let's have a look. Is that Vic on his own? There it is. Vic on his own. So they must have literally got off the track at precisely the same time. And we've still got the Carlins boys of Byrne, Gallo, and now De Bono's coming, trying to cut.
There wasn't much space given there, was it?
No, Dan Byrne definitely hip checking De Bono out of the way on that one. Final lap of the race is going to be Ben Faulkner is going to come through and take that victory. He's leading by 16 seconds at the moment over Ty Delaney, who's got his second place here. Jackson Pringle in with the third, and then we've got Gallo, who's sitting in fourth at the moment in the pro classes. So still lots more action to bring you. The other two classes are fairly stable. I think most of them are already settled, to be honest with you, Steve.
Yeah, they are. The boys have all tapered out. We've just seen that all the lap times and the gaps are still pretty tight everywhere. But yeah, I think this is how we're going to finish for the night, for this session anyway.
Yeah, we've got 2 more races to go after this. Let's see what happens and how they all get on. Top 10 reverse. We're going to have Faulkner coming through the field at the moment. He's going to have the likes of Anderson. Bellick's going to be on pole, so he's going to have Bellick, Anderson, De Bono, Byrne, Gallo, Noble, Gallen, Pringle, and Delaney in front of him. So that's going to be interesting one for Ben Faulkner here to work his way through the field cleanly.
Oh yeah, that's right. Top 10 reverse and the rain as well. So we still don't know, I guess, whether the rain will continue right through the session or not. It would be very interesting to see what happens. But yeah, well, that gives Dylan De Bono a bit of advantage over Ben Faulkner, because Dylan will be starting in the 3rd row, whereas Ben will be starting in the 5th row. So there's a little bit of advantage. He's a good starter, but so is Dylan as well. It's going to be a tough one.
Ben Faulkner comes over the line. He takes the checkered flag there. He has wrapped up the win. It looks like Ty Delaney is going to hold on to that second place at the moment. So great job from Ty Delaney, and Jackson Pringle's going to come over in fourth. We're going to go down to Mitch Noble. He's going to come over the line in our Pro-Ams. He's going to take the victory right in the first one. Great job from Mitch there. David Gallo comes over the line. De Bono comes over the line. He did get in front of Dan Byrne on that run around the final corner, so we'll have a look back and see how that one worked out as well. Then we've got Jack Anderson and Caleb Bellick in the Pro-Ams. They come over the line as well. Chris Tomlin is going to wrap up the AMS win here this evening. So a great job from Chris. He's going to come over the line in first in the AMS. So well done to him with Wakefield and then King behind that in the Pro-Ams. Look at them all coming over the line there between the AMS, Pro-Ams. It's like a mass exodus, and the last car that is going to come over the line, I believe, will be Josh Houghton. Nope, it's going to be further back than that, actually. I think it could be Brad Anderson. Yeah, Brad Anderson and Vic Bensvalen will be the final cars come over the line.
Yeah, and in our Steve Banks, how the Pelicans go? Well, John Gullen finished fourth tonight, first in class, so did really well. Mitch Noble second in class for that group. Yeah, they go all the way back, mate, to who was the last? The last was Sam Kutakazinos.
Yeah, but Vic Bensvalen coming over the line. Once this is done, we will bring you up the results from from heat number one, we should say, here this evening. It's going to be interesting. Let's get you the results from race number one. Ben Faulkner is in first, Ty Delaney in second, and Jackson Pringle in third. Then you've got John Gallen, who's going to take the win in the Pro-Ams, with Mitch Noble in second. Then you've got Gallo, De Bono and Byrne round out the top 8. Anderson rounds off the podium for the Pro-Ams, and Caleb Bellick in 10th will be on pole for the next race. Shane Ratcliffe in 11th, Doug Gowans, Callum Hodgkinson in 12th and 13th, Cam Hardwick 14th, Jamie Davis down in 15th. Chris Tomlin comes over the line and takes the AM victory, with Matt Feely and Kevin Wakefield finish second in the AMs, with Luke Crum behind that one. Josh King rounds out the podium for the AMs. Jordan Ferguson, Greg Johnston, Mark Cochran, Russell Gander, Ryan Price, Marty Walker, Mark Turner and Wayne Edwards. And we've got Brendan Soper down in 29th. Dan Batouche, Josh Houghton, Carl Gretsch, Stephanie Pickley, Phil Buckland, Brad Anderson, Vic Bensvalen. Then we've got the people who are lapped down: Shane Nowens, Brad Hayes, Sam Katsikazinos, Adam Hughes, Greg Barber and Ben Simpson didn't actually take to the start, so we'll see whether or not they will take.
Adam Hughes race control, Greg Barber race control, and Ben is one of the drivers but didn't get through. There is a pit lane start for Callum Hodgkinson for that incident we saw in the first corner in the last few laps. So he'll be starting from the pit. The time has been extended slightly, so we should get them now starting to grid up. I will pick out of my list here. Who's starting in 10th place, mate?
Ben Faulkner.
That'll be Ben, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm going to have my camera on Ben so that we've got the split of him coming through the pack, because he's going to make a killer launch as he normally does. And let's see how these boys pan out. It's still raining, viewers. Look, viewers, there's 40 cars out on track. They've got to have at least 2 family members out there. There's no reason why we shouldn't have 80 people watching live tonight. So all you people out there, ring your mates up, text your friends. We've still got 2 more crazy races to come, and let's get on there and watch and support these boys. Still haven't heard who you wanted to see. I know that Steve Banks will want to watch Gallen run around. I know that Laura will want to see the Team SRW boys coming around, and some hot gossip out there. Well, not gossip, but news. Ben Sinkovic, Team SRW, one of the owners of the league, is banned for a week because he's got himself 10 license points. So just goes to show this matters for the owners of the league. We still cop it.
Yeah, definitely has. I'd like to pick up on Laura's comment in YouTube chat. One of the best teams. I get the privilege to go see them here in Melbourne with my grandfather, who is a die-hard Spurs fan. Come on, Laura. Let's go.
Yeah, Laura, I think your partner's from Team SRW.
Mate, if there's another Spurs fan out there, I'll take it, because there's not many of us around, and if there is, and well, they don't speak up. Let's just put it that way. So let's see what goes on. Caleb Ballard going to lead us away here for the opening lap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bella gets away off the start once more. Dan Byrne got a bit of a jump on Anderson as he's running side by side. De Bono's in there in 4th at the moment. Gallon's in there with Gallo, and also here comes Ben Faulkner. He's going to make his way through the field. It's going to be very, very difficult with further back as well. It is all about where is Faulkner going to go. You can't.
Oh, no.
Oh, Ben.
Oh, they made it. How did they make that?
Oh,
it's still going.
Yeah, 4 wide at the moment there in the mid-pack as well. Unfortunately, it's very interesting. Ty Delaney just being a little bit bullied out. Faulkner is sitting up in 6th place overall. You can see the strewn of cars. We'll wait for it to settle down here on lap 1. I'm not entirely sure when it will settle down, but we'll keep an eye and see if it does as these guys continually fight it out. All the cars through the racetrack. There's a disappearing Marty Walker there, unfortunately for him, but it's all the way through. Look at the cars coming down towards us here, Steve. What an absolute mission as well to try and cover all of these. Oh, spinner in the back. That's Mark Cochran.
Is it Cochran?
Yep.
No, it's Gallen. Was it Gallen?
No.
There's a few guys falling backwards.
Hodgkinson's just gone in for, yeah. Well. Hodgkinson's just gone in. I thought Hodgkinson had a pit lane start.
Yes, I thought he had too, so I don't know what's going on. It's all right, Laura. Now I'll be right. I'm a goonie from way back since I was 7 years old. So, there's a Vermilion car spinning there.
Pringle.
And is that Pringle? He's managed to, during his rotation, take someone else out. But look at this, Ty Delaney coming from the middle of, God, who is that? He's between John Gallen.
Yeah, we've got Delaney, Gallen and Ratcliffe in there, and Noble's in the front end. He's trying to chase down David Gallo, but this is Gallen, Ratcliffe, Delaney and Gowans as they're going 3 wide down into turn 1. How is this going to work out for the guys further back? They've got to brake a little bit early to try and make sure they can get that through.
They've settled it nicely. It looks like Davis is still hard on the side. He's made his way through. That was epic transfer from 5 across to a single line without an incident. Mate, if that was me there, that would have been total hectic disaster. It would have been cars everywhere.
Yeah, I do agree. Greg Johnston's gone off the side of the circuit, unfortunately for him as well. But this is the Jackson Pringle, Vic Bence Valen, Marty Walker, Stephanie Piccoli, I think, all were caught up in this situation. You're going to see it's going to start with Pringle spinning at the front there. There he Valen.
Panels coming off.
Yep, nowhere to go, just straight into Jackson there as well, as we'll go back to live pictures. Bellick and Byrne leading the way at the moment. Byrne's closing on as much as he possibly can. Caleb Bellick's got to get his wriggle on. Now we've got the De Bono-Faulkner war going to be taking place. Mitch Noble's just gone up the inside of David Gallo. Has he? Yes, he's just managed to make it through in 12 as well. But Bellick and Byrne scrapping away here, Steve. Interested to see how these guys are going to get on for the next 17 minutes.
Oh, it's going to be nuts. They're finally caught each other. They're back on track beside each other. That was a killer little pass from Noble there. But the boys, again, fighting like crazy and clean. Ben Falk has made up 6 places there, keeping it nice and clean. Josh Horton, JP, has gone up 17 places. So he is up into 15th. And the other big mover is Sam Kutakazinos, who started at the back of the grid, is now already up to 18th. So he's making his way slowly through the field as well. But this battle with Dylan and Ben is going to be going on for a while. Like we saw at the beginning of the race. Oh, Ty Delaney made a jump through. I think one of the Velocity boys is, lost it down the back there. Geez, they're quick to call him in too.
Yeah, they probably are. It's going to be interesting to see how they battle with this rain. But Bellick, Byrne, De Bono and Faulkner, your top 4 window wipers are plenty going on behind. Here, as you can see now, Bellick covers off Byrne, going down into turn 7. He's the left-hander. Then they're going to go right, then they're going to go left, then they're going to go right again for that run round turn to 10 to 12. What's going to happen? How is Faulkner going to get through? Has De Bono sorted out his car? Can he get that machine stopped now rather than the struggles we see him in race 1? Bellick still leading, but Byrne, De Bono, Faulkner rounding off the top 4, and they are literally nose to tail. De Bono's going to be looking up the inside of Byrne, is he? They give each other room on the exit.
Oh, there's overlap there as well. Jesus Christ, they're going 3 ways. Oh, there wasn't going to be 3-way to fit through there, unfortunately.
No.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not doing our seat tonight. But did you like the way Ben Falker snuck in behind there and got himself the gap open to get on the outside? But Dylan needs to get back onto this tail of Caleb, so he's got that draft so he can keep Ben off his back as well.
Yeah, unfortunately. I don't really know who to look at on that one. I think it was crazy going 3 wide there in the first place. But unfortunately, it didn't work out so much for Dan Byrne, as Faulkner does come through with Dylan De Bono. So De Bono's now trying to keep Faulkner behind him. Faulkner's going to be looking, if he can, round the outside of turn 3s and 4. Round the right-hander go. De Bono's run a little bit wide. It should give him the inside for 5 and 6 if he can keep it there. Over the curb he goes. Faulkner goes through. De Bono loses a place, and now Faulkner's setting after Caleb Bellick here.
That was really well done. You can see there that looked like Dylan was struggling for the rear end to hold and get around that, whereas Ben just sort of settled in and took that really nice and firmly. It was like he had a little bit more air almost. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's got his car perched up, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like actually Dylan's car's perched up at the rear more than Blake's at this point. It'd be interesting to see how different their setups are.
Yeah, we'll have to try and see. It might be worth trying to have a chat with him if we can, but De Bono does seem to be a little bit more struggling than Faulkner in front. Gallen's got Ty Delaney running alongside him as well, going down into the right-hander of turn number 12. There's on board with Gowans. Oh, no.
He straightened him out. He was going to lose that.
Yeah.
His teammates. No, it's not. That's the Pacific Esports of John Gallen. 3 wide. Look at this. Doug Gowan stuck in the middle of the sandwich. Oh, no, Doug's on the outside, actually. What am I talking about tonight?
Burns on the left. Burns on the left. Gallows in the middle. And then Gowans is on the right. Gallows slips in. You can see in front of that, we've got Ty Delaney. He's running side by side with Jamie Davis coming down into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make it through this time around? What's going to happen with the boys behind him? They've all made it through quite cleanly, which is great for him. We've lost Caleb Bellick. Bellick has dropped 2 places from the beginning there. What happened? This was the overtake with Ben Faulkner. I wonder if there was anything kicking off here. Again.
Just there is a car towing.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that properly, but triple 1, I think it was, his towings. Caleb's called that in. I'm glad I'm not up there with tonight, I tell you right now.
Yeah, I think
there's hairy moves.
Yeah, I think I might have to keep my mouth a little bit firmly closed on my opinions on certain things, I think, before I end up getting myself.
Please let Gallen going. Oh no! Get out of there, guys! Get out of there before someone wipes you out. Oh, that was so lucky. I tell you what, I don't know how they collected themselves and stopped so suddenly, but I tell you what, Cam Hardwick was lucky he didn't get up right up the back of him then. and they all stopped firmly, and everyone went around them like a split banana.
Yeah, they did. Managed to get round there, so well done to everybody else. Mark Taylor, Jack Anderson here in that mid-pack. I think it's going to be playing it by ear, seeing how these guys get on. We've got Faulkner leading the pros, but man, I'm desperately sure there could be something incoming for that young gentleman. Dylan DeBodo, David Gallo are your top three. Then you've got Noble, Turner, Anderson in the Pro-Ams, and then Tomlin, who is leading the AMs again. Matt Feely from that Blackout OPR is currently alongside Tomlin now. Tomlin's not really in this class battle. He's more of an on-track situation here for Feely and Tomlin. He's got to keep it behind him if he can. Don't get yourselves in something that you don't have to. Use him to work your way forward. That would be the best opportunity for Chris Tomlin, especially when you've got Matty Feely in front of him here as well. He's got to think about this one, Steve. Use what you've got in front before you go careering into him.
Yeah, correct. I'm not sure how long Matty Feely is going to last in this session, because he's apparently blinking out like crazy. So at some point he may be told by race control to park his car, because it might be detrimental to other drivers around him. But again, we are seeing some epic racing. Matty Feely is actually quite a good driver. There's that Wayne Anderson that just went spinning out wide. It looked like it was. But the boys are tapering it a little bit. Looks like an over and under in the back there. Feely's still going. He seems to be all right on our screen, but I think it's just the screen out there. That's Josh. Is that my boy, Josh King?
Yeah, Josh King with Cam Hardwick. Mitch Noble, I believe that may have been Chris Tomlin, who has just gone spinning out of the lead of the AMs.
Having a proud dad moment, mate. I have a Team SRW driver leading the Pro-Ams at the moment, and I have a AM car leading the AMs at the moment. So this is a first for me. And Jamie Davis in fifth. All I need now is Jamie Davis out front. I'll have all three categories in my pocket.
Well, I don't know if that's likely to happen. I've got to be honest here. Davis is side by side with the Fishy Motorsports of Ty Delaney. He's just gone through on him there. He's got Caleb Bellick up in front. Of course, Caleb involved in the spin with Faulkner earlier on, and I'm not giving you my opinion on that one. Let's see what the RC comes up with.
Yeah, and that's already gone in my brain. I've already forgotten about it and going on to the next move. How good's that Shannon's logo look on the side of that car? But thank you, Shannon's, for supporting the Motorsport Australia, Shannon's GR86 Nationals. Always a pleasure. Oh, mate. All right, where are we? We have got 12 minutes into a 20 session, lap 7. Still raining, viewers. It doesn't look like it's going to let up. If you want to see someone out there, let us know. The battles are fast and thick and going everywhere. Who we've got here? We've got Gallen and Byrne side by side, switching over, followed by, is that Mr. Horton?
Yeah, Josh there. Tucked him right behind him at the moment as well. Lap 7, we've got 7 minutes coming up to coming up nearly. Then into turn 12 we go. Out and in behind Gowans with Byrne in front. So a lot more action still to come from this race. They're just about heading on to turn 14 before they got that long run down into the right hander of turn 1. It utilises a start-finish straight here on this oval. It's a weird track for me, I think, this one, partly due to the fact it doesn't use all of the oval. It only uses parts of it. Not even parts at times, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Car 65, and I'm trying to see who that is. Oh, Cam Hardwick. He's got himself a drive-through for an incident from earlier on.
Yeah. So Houghton and Gowans going side by side on through turn 3 and 4. Gowans there in that blue and white Velocity car. Houghton in that Vermilion Motorsports machine on the left-hander. You can see there with the black and purple wing mirrors, still continually fighting it out. Gallo and Noble going side by side. Is Gallo going to be able to hold on to this one? You can see on the main screen, Noble manages to hold on at the moment, but where is Gallo? This is not Don't forget, this is not a class battle. This is just the fact that David Gallo is in the pros. Noble's in the AMs. Noble's managing to hold on at the moment on a run through turn 10 into 11 before they go through into turn 12. Bellick is 3.2 seconds back. He's got Jamie Davis and Ty Delaney behind him. You can see them guys in your background as they come down as well.
That was some epic fighting through there, using the cutting the line of the space and taking the natural line. Phil Ballock's asking why no opinion. Well, we're not race control and we can't see from all angles, so there's a lot of aspects to what the race control will call for a decision. Overlap, giving space, everything. There's a lot of things. It's not as cut as dry as just me and JP coming here and giving our perspective. We don't want to offend anyone up here, but we try to be as politically correct as possible when we can.
Yeah, Gallo's Gallo's on the right hand side. He's trying to go around the outside of Noble, not going to make it through. Then we've got Davis, who is there with Delaney and Caleb Bellick. Bellick's just made it through as well. There's partly another reason as well is I don't want to give my opinion due to the fact I don't want to end up in the steward's room. You know what I mean? I've been there too many times and I'd like to stay out of it if I can on this time around. So I'm not even going to go there on that one. Bellick and Davis and Delaney. We've got the top 5 reverse. So Caleb Bellick will find himself on pole for race number 3 if he stays where he is.
Yeah, that's very true. All well said there, mate. I tell you what, young Caleb's car, I'm loving the livery on it, mate. It almost makes that car look a little bit like McLaren-ish, sort of the way it makes the curves look. And he's driving exceptionally well with a lot of pressure from Davis, and Ty is just sitting there waiting. Big scraps as it goes through him. Yeah,
this is going to be the main focal point, partly due to the reverse for race number 3 is only 5. So Bellick, if he can manage to hold on, I think we've just lost Ty Delaney somewhere off into the world there. Ty Delaney, I think, just got himself off on the race circuit. Comes around the corner, hits the curb, and car gets all out of shape, and around he goes. There's no grip on the curbs.
Just a little bit slick out there for that move. Unfortunately, Bet Faulkner is sitting on a 147.88. That's the fastest lap for tonight, and that is 8 tenths faster than anyone else on track at this point.
Yeah, Dave Gallo, so Mitch Noble running side by side down into turn 1. On the right hand, I would go on board with Gallo now. Is he going to be able to make this through over Mitch? He does wash out a little bit. That was the only thing I think, if I had an opinion on that Faulkner Bellick incident, is that washout out of turn 1 seems to be the natural line. So, you know, we'll see what RC come of that one. You know, that washout going out towards as you go over the curbs there, Steve, seems to be the natural line.
Yeah, it does say, oh, what's going on here, Josh? He's lost that whole front end there. It looked like his braking point was missed completely. That wasn't his natural line, that's for sure. But yeah, look, there's a lot of factors in there. Well, you can sit there for hours. When these boys do their decisions in the room upstairs on a Monday night when their tickets are in, let me tell you, it is exhausting. Anyway, back to the racing, and we'll worry about that later. The boys are battling like crazy. Daniel Byrne is back to his pace and slowly making his way up. I think Mitch Noble needs to remember who he's racing against for points and for titles when he's got cars around him, and just take the risk factor a little bit away from where it is. Here we go. Mr. Greg Johnson finally got himself. He's looking 3rd for the AMS tonight. And who's he got that coming in on the inside of him there?
That is, I believe, Jackson Pringle from the Vermilion is trying to make his way through. We've got Chris Tomlin in the mix with Kevin Wakefield. This is a battle in your AMS. So I believe there's going to be one, possibly one more, depending if Barney has decided to wave the flag or not. But at the moment, it is Tomlin on the left, and he has got, that is Wayne Edwards on the right, with Wakefield still out in front in the AMS at this current moment. So Kevin Wakefield is leading the AMS with Tomlin behind, who's just lost that place to Mark Turner, and I'm sure Turner will want to get past Wakefield as quickly as possible. possible. So still battles happening all the way through here, and right even with Mitch Noble, Caleb Bellick, Dylan DeBono, Jamie Davis, as they're getting close to David Gallo. So we'll see what happens on that one.
Yeah, it looks like Brad Anderson was sitting in first place at one point in the AMs. I don't know what happened to him. He must have had a loose rear end or something at some point down the track there. But have a look at this, guys, following each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. These are all pretty much 5/10 behind each other. Tell you what, and it's no letting up. The traction these guys are getting is ridiculous in these little cars, and they're set up in full rain. I'd love to know what sort of percentage of rain it is out there at the moment, whether we're talking full rain or 50%, because we can't really see that from the viewing side of it. But you look at Ben's line through there, he's really opening up every corner he can, isn't he?
He definitely is. Let's see if anything comes of all of these little bits of ta-ta-tas that we've seen. He's going to be coming over the line. He is going to take that victory. Ben Faulkner does win race number 2. It was always going to be close on the time situation. Now we've got Davis, who's just cleared. Caleb Bellick going into the final few corners. It's going to be Mitch Noble will get second. What has happened to Dylan DeBono? And I've got a funny feeling this is what has happened to Dylan DeBono, who's alongside Caleb Bellick. Bellick's on the grass trying to come back on, and unfortunately makes contact with DeBono there as well. But once he was on the grass there, Steve, he was always going to lose that back end because it was always just going to slide away from him.
Yeah, 100%. It's DeBono's still done well. He's once he got himself all the way up to he's dropped one place, 6. So he's still a time to flight. They have a look at these boys, 3 across.
Yeah, they've all finished.
I think that was Jamie actually readdressing to Caleb for some reason by the look of it.
Yeah.
He's let Caleb go through.
Wakefield comes over the line. He takes the victory in the AMS, and Johnston finishes in 3rd place in the AMS. So it was Faulkner, then Davis, then Byrne for the pros. But we'll wait for everybody else to finish before you bring up the results here. I've got a funny feeling that there may have been a little bit confusion over that last lap there, because not everybody seemed to know that they'd actually finished and were still continuing to fight. So that's yeah, we might need to have a look at that one. Soper comes over the line as well. Shane Nowens is in the background. He's got Jordan Ferguson in front of him, and these guys are going to come over the line and finish off once again. So interesting as it's going to be here. I think race 3 could be a little bit spicy.
Oh, I think so. I think there's boys out there. Look at these super sprints bring the worst out in the drivers, I reckon. There's not a lot of opportunities. You've got to take them when you can, so they keep going for it. But look, it's all good. It makes it entertaining for us up here in the booth. But the boys still think they're racing or what? Because on my camera, it looks like they're still racing as well. No, they're all racing to get back to the pits. Okay, because they've got a bit of time now, so they can tweak their setups they want. There'll be about a 10-minute gap here, and we can still someone to have a chat with as well, because I want to know how wet it actually is out there.
Yeah, well, here's the results while you go on the hunt. Ben Faulkner in first for the pros. Mitch Noble in second, but first for the Pro-Ams. Jamie Davis and Caleb Bellick round out the 1-2 in the pros and Pro-Ams. Dan Byrne, Howen, Gallo, DeBono, Gowant and Delaney round out the top 10. Jack Anderson finishes off the podium for the Pro-Ams, and Dan Batouche, Matty Feely, John Gallen, Sam Katagazinos, Luke Crum, Mark Turner. And then below that, you've got Kevin Wakefield, who's took the AM victory with Chris Tomlin in second. Then Wayne Edwards, Mark Cochran, Russell Gander, Shane Ratcliffe, Jackson Pringle, Greg Johnston rounds out the podiums for the AMs. And you've got Cam Hardwick and Brendan Soper. On from that one, Jordan Ferguson, Shane Nowens, Phil Buckland, Brad Anderson, then Brad Hayes, Callum Hodgkinson, Stephanie Pickley, Vic Bensvalen, Josh King and Carl Gretsch were 3 and 6 laps down respectively. Mike Walker was 9 laps down, and then you got the guys at the bottom who did not take to the start. So yeah, been a very interesting race 1 and 2 here.
Yeah, sorry mate, you lost me for a minute because I'm listening to the race control. We've got a pit entry decision that's coming up for a driver, and I can't know who it is. There's also a call by Stephanie Piccoli, got pinned for something as well. So it's been a few conversations going on. 10-minute break. Looks like it's all rain. Who do you want to drag in for a bit of a chinwag, mate? Do you want to drag one of the boys in? We'll see what's going on. How's it feel out there?
Yeah, you grab who you want to have a chat with, dear sir. Pull him in, and then we can have a bit of a chinwag.
Jamie Davis, my current team captain out there, and let's see what he's got to say out there. Jamie, don't swear. You're on SRW TV, mate. I just want to drag you in for a sec just to get a bit of feedback on how wet it is out there at the moment. How's it feeling?
Yeah, race 1 was a lot slippier. That race 2 was a bit better, but I think there's a bit more water coming onto the track now. So yeah, race 3 is going to be interesting.
So you're starting to see puddles?
I'm personally not, but my teammates, a couple of them have said there's puddles.
Okay, so were you guys trying to drive the natural line, or are you trying to stick to go-kart lines, staying out high on the banks? What's the plan?
Just turning in late, straightening out the exit, and just drive straight across the apex of the corner to try and keep momentum up.
Yeah. How are the boys feeling out there at one point? We had Josh sitting as the AM leader. I don't know what happened to him. He looks like he lost a couple of places there. And then good old Mitch taking the pro-am, which is pretty cool. And you're finishing off in 5th, so you'll finish off at the front of the grid today.
No, I got 3rd place on that last corner. But Mitch is... Yeah. So Mitch is really ecstatic the way he's performed tonight.
Yeah, he's been very much on par. Things that I think the wet is really agreeing with him.
Yeah, the wet does bring out a little bit of a different driving style, and some people shine and some people slip off.
Yeah. Well, give him a good shout out, mate. Tell him he's doing a good job with the rest of the team, and good luck for the rest of the race. JP, anything to ask?
I'm all good, mate. I think we'll just be interested to see how race 3 goes. I'm hoping that we can get a calmer lap 1 and lap 2.
Yes, that'd be nice. All right, mate. Take care, Jamie. Have a good one, mate.
No worries. Thanks, fellas. Enjoyed the last race.
Take care. Well, we have...
All right.
God.
I haven't put him... There he is. Back in his room. Well, no safety car yet.
No.
We expected a lot more carnage than we've seen so far. It looks like the weather has made the boys start a little bit more cautious. Still mistakes being made out there, so the boys are still paying the price when they aren't anticipating space around them. But I can't get around how many times we're seeing 3 to 4 cars coming into a corner and then tapering off into single file when not having incidents from it.
Yeah, I think they've got to be just careful. I think that's the thing. You know, there's certain points that I would, turn around and say, you can't be doing certain things. I think sometimes the erring on the side of caution probably is better than doing one of the things, that you're seeing. And I think it's just about using what you've got, but being aware that not everybody is going to be on the same page as you are. And I think a couple of people, have made the simple mistakes of just sticking their nose up on the inside, and it's caused them a problem. Yeah. So, I think they've just got to be a little bit more mindful, especially when it's coming into race number 3.
Yeah, 100%. You win a corner by being the first person to turn into the corner as well. And if you throw your nose in after that has been made, it's harder for the race control to call those sort of things under these conditions. But they do have a ticket system. I just heard Stephanie Piccoli talking to Greg Johnson about she's entering the pit lane, but there was someone on the inside of her. There must have been a touch or something like that, and he just said, "Look, you're going to have to put a ticket in if you don't agree with our decision." And unfortunately, with the amount of decisions going through, it's the way the cookie crumbles at the moment. So boys just got to be patient. What it does tell me is for race 3, you just got to be a little bit smarter. You want to be the car that's on the track, not the car that's on the grass. So if it means you've got to take the foot off a little bit and let a car go past you and wait for your next attempt to pass them, that's a smart move to make. It's a race of attrition. You've got to be on the end of the track and on the track at the end of the race to get the points. So you've got to be a bit smart.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the thing, and I'm sure We'll see if there's any penalties coming in for race number 3. Any pit lane starts that anybody's got. I'm sure we will hear about it, or they are going to put a ticket in here once again, as we got 3 minutes left of this little warm-up. What are you doing in a warm-up, Steve? You just sat down chilling, or you out on the track?
No. I don't get much time to practice, so I'm usually out in the warm-up. I'm usually out trying to just get my head right and get my apexes right. Unfortunately, my life is too busy to practice, so I'll use from the time I get in the car all the way to the end of the session. I'll use every second I can to get a better understanding of the track and all that sort of stuff. It's just my life at the moment, I guess, which I'm just too busy. Hence why I'm not racing this season, because we're selling homes and moving and stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of those things. You just got to bite the bullet sometimes and maybe just come up here and have some fun with JP. So there's nothing wrong with that. Take a bit of a break. Otherwise, I'll be doing donuts out there tonight.
I think for me, I don't really get as much time as I want out on the circuit. I'm just far too busy for that one. But I think overall, these guys have done a great job. Not even sure how I would compare in the rain. I'd probably end up doing more pirouettes than a ballerina, to be blatantly honest. So, you know, it's a tough one, isn't it, rain? And as you say, it is generally the greatest equaliser on the race circuit. And I think there are some people who are starting to realise that here tonight.
Yeah, 100%. It is an equaliser. I think Mitch Noble's a perfect example of someone who's come to grips with the surface and everything like that. How about we try something a little bit different? I'll grab Adam Hughes from the RC box, and let's see if he can give us a report on who's starting where in this last heat. One sec. Mr. Hughes, I've got you on the broadcast. Can you give us an update on any pit lane starts or anything like that, mate?
We have 2 pit lane starts, mate, for the third race, which will be Stephanie Piccoli and Caleb Bellick will be the 2 pit lane starters.
Yep.
Possibly have a third, but we're still sussing and assessing the outcomes as we speak.
Okay, it's I'm assuming it's Fast and Furious in the RC room tonight, because I'm hearing a lot of the chatter that goes on in the background, and we cover 40 cars as much as we can. Unfortunately, you guys have got to deal with the rest of it. Is there much going into the booth?
Yeah, there is a fair bit coming through. We've got a chance to catch up and relax a bit. So we're constantly trying to catch up as we speak.
All right, mate. Look, I'll let you get back in there. Keep the boys a pat on the back. I know it's a hell of a job out there. Never going to make everyone happy, but, keep plugging away.
We'll certainly try, mate. No promises, but we'll certainly try, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, brother.
All right, so we've got two pit lane starters. Caleb Ballack, I think that was that incident we saw near the end with Dylan DeBono. Caleb, we didn't see the incident with Stephanie. I believe that was her entering the pit lane, and possibly, even though she's called it, she's turned down on someone or touched someone as she's come through. I haven't seen it, so I won't say too much about it, I guess.
Yep. Sometimes it's just best not to say anything. Steve.
Oh, look, it is, mate. It is definitely something. It is definitely best not to say anything. But look, there's people out there watching. If you've got someone you want to see in the last heat, let us know. Shout out to everyone out there for joining us. It's always a pleasure. We'd like to have a chinwag with you. So if you've got some live chatter, please by all means let us know. Let's have a chinwag. They are getting ready.
Yeah.
So,
grid for
3-minute timer has started.
Grid for race 3 with Dan Byrne in first, Caleb Bellick, well, we don't think he's going to be in second, Jamie Davis in third, Mitch Noble fourth, Ben Faulkner fifth, Josh Houghton sixth, Dave Gallows seventh, Dylan DeBono eighth, Doug Goins ninth, Ty Delaney 10th, Jack Anderson and Dan Batouche. Round out the top 12, and then alongside that one, Matt Feely, John Gallant, Sam Katkazunis, Luke Crum, Mark Turner, Kevin Wakefield, Chris Tomlin, Wayne Edwards, Mark Cochran, Russell Gander, Shane Ratcliffe and Jackson Pringle. On from that one, Greg Johnson, Cam Hardwick, Brendan Soper, Jordan Ferguson, Shane Nowens, Phil Buckland, Brad Anderson, Brad Hayes, Callan Hodgkinson, Stephanie Pickley, Vic Bedsvalen and Josh King. And then we've got Carl Gretsch, Marty Walker there. And I don't believe Ryan Price, I think, could be the last of the starters on that one. So let's see how they get on once more. Yeah, Dan Byrne in front from the Carlins team on the front row of the grid here.
Yeah, Daniel Byrne, Caleb Ballack will be starting in the pit. So Jamie Davis will get promoted to the, well, not really. He'll just be sitting with a car not in front of him. So that's not a bad thing. Mitch Noble, two of my boys up front. And Ben Faulkner in fifth. It's going to be a little bit easier for Ben this time round because he's got that gap in front of him too. And we've seen him already. He's great off the start. And but you know what? Daniel Byrne's no slouch either. We saw him battling it out last week with Ben for a little while when he started from the reverse grid, and he did a great job at holding him off for a while too. Have a look at this. Oh, Mitch Noble has got himself a great little run from there, mate. If he can get a great start, we could have him tuck in easily behind Jamie, but he's got Ben Faulkner there. Ben is going to be fast no matter what. Mitch has got to be very aware of where Ben is. That's what he's going to have to look at. Make sure he's got his eyes open and doesn't cross over underneath him.
Well, let's see what happens going into race 3. We're just waiting for the guys to get onto the grid so we can get this up and running.
Oh, guess what? I just heard someone say it stopped raining.
Not on my screen.
Do we have wets? Look at the grid going around that first corner.
Yeah, I can safely say not on my screen. I've still got rain coming down, so unless I'm...
Yeah, there's a little bit coming down on mine as well, but I'm hearing the driver saying the rain is nearly stopped.
Well...
15 seconds to go.
Just waiting for the last of the cars to get onto the grid. Of course, it will run down right to the end with the people starting from the pit lane. Here are the lights now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we are up and running, and it is green, green, green. Davis got a jump off the start. Mitch Noble didn't really go anywhere. David Gallo sent it 3 wide down into turn 1. Ben Faulkner on the left, Mitch Noble on the right. How's this one going to pan out as we're coming into turn 1 now? Are these guys going to make it all through cleanly? Dan Byrne's going to get the whole shot. He's going to take the lead. No, Davis has gone and snuck up the inside. Faulkner's in third. Gallo's there as well. In the middle is De Bono. He's gone round. Ty Delaney in there, Familiar Motorsports machine also. There's more chaos. That's Wakefield has gone round at the back. He's been made contact. Contact further up as well. Brad Anderson has gone off the side of the circuit as well. Once again, Steve, that turn 1, lap 1 incident has just caused chaos. Caleb Bellick has also gone round again. So another list of drivers once more.
He's actually come out of the pits. How did he come around? So he must have come around just as they sped trying to get in there. Or has he gone on his own?
Well, he's coming out of the pit lane. Oh, he's done it on his own.
Oh, he's done it on his own. He's done it on his own. Oh, dear me. That's not what... He probably could have made up a few really good places then too. That's a shame. That's a shame. Bad luck on them. But these boys are going hell for leather already, mate. This is crazy. We've got Jamie Davis, who was leading a few seconds ago. He's lost 2-3 places. And we've got already Dylan Byrne, your favourite David Gallo, followed by my boy Mitch Noble and JB Davis. Ben Faulkner has just passed Dan Bartucci in the back there and making his way through and hunting down on Jamie Davis as we speak. Mitch Noble is having a bit of a sniff, putting the nose in there. Him and his teammate need to be working together to get Ben off the back of them so they can get the draft and working it for them.
Yeah.
Jeez, Ben's a fast driver.
I thought Faulkner was a little bit further up there.
I think he got held up in some of the carnage as we were earlier on, but he's already got himself in a great position. Dan Bartucci is having a bit of a sniff. He was driving along Dan Bartucci. Teammates here, don't take each other out. Jesus Christ, it's open the door for Ben Faulkner. He's in between them. He's got Davis to the left, to the right. Is he going to sniff his way through? Oh, you can't give him too much. Oh, he's he's got that car rotate around real quick. His front end is sliding a fair bit then, did you see it?
Yeah, we're still on wet tyres, though. Nobody's taking the option. I don't think it's stopped raining, to be honest. I think some people might be having a little moments of seeing things out there because we've still got rain coming down. It might be starting to get a little bit lighter, but it is not stopped completely. Yeah. Faulkner goes in deep on the brakes there as well.
Oh, look at the brake he does there. Mitch has done really well to hold across and get the front across. Mitch, careful there, mate. You need to be staying on that track and making sure that you don't ruin your race if the guy's not in your class.
Yeah, Mitch Noble settling in. It looks like Mark Turner has done that, unfortunately, at that moment in time. John Gallen has done that at that moment in time, and I think they must have gone off together. However, Gallen is going the wrong way around the race circuit here, so he wants to try and either rotate that car or stop, reverse, and do a little bit of a three-point turn. It looks like he's going to try and rotate it. Yeah.
IRacing completely for that. He's got to be real careful.
Yep, Dylan DeBono down with Chris Tomlin here. Tomlin is the highest AM at the moment. Pro-Am's Mitch Noble, and then of course Dan Byrne out in front in the pros there. Shane Nowens has been off. Looks like Jordan Ferguson has had a moment. He's jumped back to the pits once again, but this is the Cam Hardwick, Chris Tomlin, Luke Crum, Doug Gowans and Wayne Edwards is just catching him up in the background. We'll keep an eye on the lead time as well. Gallows still got Ben Faulkner right behind him, but you can see there Hardwick is leading the way. Crum's trying to clear through on Chris Tomlin. Gowans is trying to go through at the same time into turn one. He's trying to now got to get the outside for turn two over Tomlin. Is he going to be able to make this through, Dougie Gowans? Or he's got the inside again coming into turn four, but he'll have the outside for turn five. He's got to get that move done before he goes into five. It does look like he's got it done. Can he take his normal line? He can. Doug Gowans with a great move there goes through. But back up front, Dan Byrne, Dave Gallo and Ben Faulkner now putting each other under pressure.
Well, Gallo is driving a smart race here. He knows that he needs to give Daniel Byrne as much space as possible. And if he can slow down Ben Faulkner for a slightest bit of time, the best thing he can do for his mate so his mate can get off. He's got himself a 1 second gap at the moment, but he's going to be hard pressed to hold him. There we go. He's already got the overlap. He's coming in. Oh my God! Look at the pace on this dude. He's unbelievable.
My fear on that one would have been, obviously, he took the natural line that Caleb Bellick did in race number 2 when he had that contact. You know, if Gallo was alongside him at that moment in time and he managed to hold him going into the corner, there would have been contact. So, you know, it's one of them catch-22 scenarios that he's got to just be maybe a little bit more careful, because if he tries it on Byrne and Byrne doesn't give him the room, he's going to come in like an absolute torpedo on him at the moment.
Yeah. 11 and 07 drive-through penalties.
That's Dylan DeBono. 07. That's
I don't know. It looks like
that's Dougie Gowans.
Okay, so Gowans looks like he's one of them that's going into the pits, and I can't remember who the other number was, but we'll see.
But you said 11. That's Dylan DeBono.
Okay. All right. Oh, 2 teammates.
Coming down into turn 7 here, the left-hander. We've got Ben Faulkner chasing down Dan Byrne now through the right, and they're going to go left again, and they're going to go right again. You can see a drier line almost materialising. Faulkner's going to try and nip his way up the inside through turn 10 and 11. Can Byrne hold on to this situation? Round 11 they go. He's got to be looking at turning to close off the inside if he can. He's left the open door there. Faulkner's going to go through. Byrne's going to try that cutback again. Is he going to get the outside going into turn number 13? It's going to be you've got to keep the power on there, Dan, and to try and get it. He's going to keep the inside line going through turn 14 now, and Dan Byrne does manage to hold on. He's got to hug the wall. Hug the wall.
Oh, it's nothing to do though. He should have, if I was him, I would have pulled it behind him and tried to get the drag like this and over under. Now he's put himself on the back foot and he's got Ben taking him. Will he open it up? Will he open it up in time? Yeah, Ben's got it. Nice and easy.
Yeah, Ben Faulkner does take the lead of the race. We've got just over 12 minutes remaining. Dougie Gowans is done his drive through. Caleb Bellick has looked like he's driven and stopped in the pits, but is he back out on track? He is back out on track. Greg Johnston down here in the mix of these cars once again. And as he's fighting along there, that is Josh King from the SRW, and it looks like Johnson should get the turn rotation done. Is he going to get the change of position as these guys go round turn 3 to 4? And Greg there does. Well, I'd say does. He's nearly got the move done. They're still side by side going into turn 5 and 6. He doesn't get the move done. Josh King manages to hold on. What about David Gallo? Gallo's got Davis chasing him down here. And this is the battle for 3rd and 4th place overall.
Tell you what, the last few laps we've seen a couple of drivers going 2 by 2 through some corners. In these conditions, to do what they've done is take my hats up to very respectful racing and very, very clean racing. Good stuff to see.
Yeah, great job from all of them. Again, the first 2 laps were a little bit chaotic as they normally have been, but now they've settled down again. Davis now in behind Gallo. He's going to look and try and get round the inside. He's not going to have that done at the moment. Gallo covers off the wall there, and now he pushes him back out. He's going to force him to go wide. They've had to come out. There was a back marker in there, and now they've had to come out. Davis trying to go around the outside. Gallo's still... I think Gallo backed out of that one. I think that was Ben Simpson off the side of the circuit there through turn 1.
Shane Newman's getting out of the way. Shane Newman's coming down the straight. He pulled to the left to get out to the right to get out of the way of the boys. But great little move there by Jamie Davis, and Gallo fought it all the way to the apex of the corner. Someone else is requesting the tail. I can't really hear. There's so much chatter going on in the background that I've decided not to listen to it anymore because it's just continuous all the way through. Ben is definitely doing tonight. Yes, he is Notorious Stig. He's driving the pants off this car, but he's not getting away as much as he was in the last 2 races. He's only a full second away from Daniel Burns. And Daniel Burns is doing a great job as chasing down. And Jamie Davis has now got the march on and having the follow through, followed by David Gallo and Jackson Pringle.
Yeah, that's your top 5. Yes, it's about 7.5 seconds at the moment. Is unfortunately for Jackson, so he's got to do a little bit more chasing. But Gallo and Davis still not giving up. Gallo takes the inner line, gets through again on Davis here. So great job from these guys. Matt Feely, Russell Gander. There's still just about fighting there. Anderson got all loose and did nearly end up going round, but they've just managed to keep on. Mark Cochran has got Greg Johnston in front of him as these guys continue to fight. There was a lot of people out and in the pits at the moment, which is a little bit worrying, but your main battle would be this Gallo and Davis fight up front.
A few people having computers issues. I can see that on our chat, Sam Kudizinos has got dumped out. The rain is giving his PC a world full of hell, so he's dropped out of there as well. So Matty Feely is having issues with internet as well again, so it's all coming together.
Yeah, I think
Ivan Laney's having a big battle down the back there as well with these boys. He's working his way through the field, but him and Ratcliffe are right off the back of each other, and now we've got Dylan DeBone and Mark Cochran catching them as well.
Yeah, Jamie Gallo here can see Davis in front again. He's tucked him right behind. Is he going to be able to make that move going down into turn 7? He's pulled out. You've got to commit now. Is he almost? No, he doesn't commit to that one. Greg Johnson looks like he's had himself a little bit of a moment further back here, which was a bit of a shame for Greg. He was doing quite well. So, unfortunately for him, no, he's going to get taken out. I believe that's Brendan Soper.
Oh no, who was that? That's
Brandon Soper, yeah.
Yeah. And then followed behind him was, I think, Dougie Gowans coming through, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Pringle's in the mix here. He's got Dan Bertouche in front of him. Ty Delaney's chasing down Ratcliffe. Pringle's just about to try and get the move done around the outside of turn 13. He's got a big ask to try and get that GR86 to grip in this weather. He has managed to hold it though. Bertouche gives him, well, ample amount of room, probably more than he needed to there, to allow Jackson Pringle to take his line.
Well, Dan's changed his driving style a little bit. He is driving the race of attrition. He wants to be out there at the end of the race. That's his mantra at the moment. He wants to finish every race. And as long as he's doing that, he's going to be scoring points, and that's going to put him at the pointy end of the ladder at the most important part of the season.
Yeah, I do completely agree with you. Mark Turner here with Wayne Edwards right behind him. And
Ty's just passed by Ratcliffe as well, so that hunt's still going on the other screen and battling through too.
Yeah, these guys can continue to struggle.
I thought it didn't look like Turner was going to make that corner, did it? He's sort of got the rear end go all over the place.
Yeah, he's got Luke Crum behind it with Wayne Edwards, so they were a lot closer together beforehand. Vic Valen and Dougie Gowans. Gowans has just cleared him. Nowens has had a little bit of an issue, and unfortunately he's gone off the side of the circuit once more for Nowens, so he's having a bit of a rough one here. I think the rain is taking its toll on a lot of people here, Steve, because they're just, some are struggling, some are out, and it's all gone a little bit peaked on for some.
Yeah, look, again, a few minutes ago, Brad Anderson was, Josh King was the lead AM at one point, and again he's dropped down, so he's another that must have had an incident too. So the boys are, look, it's that close, like we say every week, it's that close everywhere across the field that the slightest mistake, you're going to lose half the field in front of you. This battle's going crazy. Ratcliffe, Bartouche, Ty Delaney. Oh, Ratcliffe nearly lost the rear end, giving Ty the opening again to get back behind him. But once he gets behind Bartouche, this is going to be a battle all the way through to the end, these boys.
Yeah, he's going to be using that draft. He's going to be pulling it in if he can. He's just about teetering on the edge. You can see Ratcliffe's closing into Delaney faster than Delaney's getting onto the back of Bertouche. Ratcliffe's pulled out on the left-hand side. He's making Ty aware that he's here, and he's looking. Nope, he just took a look at him and didn't quite get the job done. Last 5.5 minutes, Delaney's completely missed turn one and ended up going off the circuit. That's going to be slow down all day. I think that was just a mixture of losing your braking points, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Just braking point got the better of him then, and just took too much pace into that corner and tucked in at the front.
That is going to be a mighty slowdown for Ty Delaney. As a Bertouche and Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe's going to try now, taking up the inside if he can. Bertouche again gives him absolutely loads of room. Bertouche is looking at coming back on the inside through turn 8. Then they go through the left-hander at 9. Oh, Dan just about missed Shane Ratcliffe then, as guys would continue scrapping it through.
Tell you what, we're having some close calls tonight, aren't we? Some of the pace these guys showing and how close they get in these conditions is ridiculous. I'm just wondering whether the track is starting to dry up or not. We've got 3.5 minutes left of regular time. I'd suggest either if it was or it wasn't, these boys would be staying out in those tyres.
Yeah, you're not going to come in now. You're going to run these to the end. You've got barely 3 laps, if that. It is just not going to happen. Yeah. What have you done? What did Chris Tomlin do? Oh, he's hit the curb. The car's all out of shorts. He's going to hit the curb again. It's carbon copy of Ty Delaney. What Ty did. And the problem was the car was already out of shape when he went in because he hit the curb previously, and because he's obviously tried to turn it, he's then got a bucket load of grip, which has then put him over the whole of the curb again, and you can see a puddle developing on the inside of that curb as well. So that's partly what they're hitting.
I thought that was sliding out then as well, man. I thought Ratcliffe was going to lose that. It's starting to I think I'm just starting to get a bit edgy here, waiting to see what's going on, to see if there's any spins or actions. The chatter slowed down the back end, so everyone's settled into it. But the boys again, Ben Faulkner has got himself a 3-second lead, nearly 4 seconds. Daniel Burns and Jamie Davis, 7 tenths between them. David Gallo's backed off a little bit with Mitch Noble sitting in 5th, which is unbelievable. Jackson Pringle 6th, Shane Radcliffe 7th. Dan Bartouche, who's in the Pro-Ams, is currently sitting in 2nd for the on track for the Pro-Ams. That's a good night for him tonight.
Yeah, as you say, that slow and steady kind of area wins through in the end, doesn't it? You know, you said he's changed his driving style. I remember it being a lot more aggressive before, but it seems to be working. Whichever aspect he's taken at the moment seems to be doing a great job for him and working for him as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think the change in attitude is massive for him. It's because I spoke to him because he drives with a single 27-inch screen. So I said to him, you know, how are you coping with that? Because we're discussing issues with being able to see around him and who's going on and where and what. And he said, well, I've just decided to change my attitude to drive in a different way and drive safer, and off it goes. You're mind reading me, mate. You're mind reading me. I was just sitting there while I'm talking, looking for a fight to have a look at, and you just picked it.
Yeah, we have got that Faulkner. Ben Faulkner's coming over. He's taking the last lap here. They've got a minute to get round, and now they're continuing to scrap. This is John Gallant. And he is having, I believe, that's not Mark Turner and that is not Mark Cochran. So that is a back marker alongside Gallen there. I can't see who it is. It looks like the 119, a Carl Gretsch, actually, on that one. Yep. Gowan's running 3 wide further back. That's Ryan Price in there. And also Russell Gander, as he does make it through. Dougie Gowan's on that one, but it is going to be Ben Faulkner again who's going to take 3 out of 3 here in the pros, and then Tomlin in the AMS managed to survive with Bence Valen is coming over in 2nd place really, and then Soper in 3rd. But Ben Faulkner makes it 3 out of 3 here as he comes over the line at Indy Road Course. Stellar job from him. Well done to the Vermilion Motorsports man of Ben Faulkner. Comes over the line. Great job there. Wraps it up 3 out of 3. Dan Byrne, Jamie Davis is in 3rd place. Then it's going to be Mitch Noble for the Pro-Ams winning that class. Dan Bartouche is going to come over in 2nd for the Pro-Ams. Stellar job from him with Ty Delaney, who's going to be a little bit further back, and Cam Hardwick on that one. In the AMS at the moment is Chris Tomlin, who is leading the AMS, and he's on his way round 10, 11 and 12.
Done a great job out there, the boys. Really good. Gentleman Bono, my God, is down in 32nd place. So I think he had the drive through. I think after that, he's just given it away. But the boys in the AMS have put on a great fight tonight. The Pro-Ams as well, and Ben Faulkner is just showing us a masterclass. We're going to have to find some really fast guys for next season to come in and compete with him. Next season will be our Motorsport Australia season for the year, because we'll have one big major one, and then all the pros, hopefully we'll get some more fast dudes out there, and see how it goes. Or maybe some of our boys will pick up some pace and learn from him.
Yeah. It is tough to always try and grab that little bit of extra speed there. So Kevin Wakefield's going to come over in 3rd. Brendan Soper had an incident on the last lap, and he's lost 3rd place in that fight. What did he do though? That I can't really. He tried to go into the pits. It's your final lap. I'm not sure why. Why?
Oh, he might have had He might have had a drive-through from iRacing 4 points or something like that. So he's had to cross that line and get in there before. Otherwise, he would have been DQ'd.
Wow.
So that would have been, yeah.
Well, it don't
Crap
count
way
on the
to
last.
go.
It doesn't count on the last lap anyway. I didn't think. But here's the results from race number 3. Ben Faulkner in first, and Dan Byrne and Jamie Davis. That's your 1, 2, 3 in the pros. David Gallo in fourth. Mitch Noble wrapping up the pro-ams with Jackson Pringle, Shane Ratcliffe, and then Dan Batouche taking second in the pro-ams. Ty Delaney down in ninth. Cam Hardwick wraps up the final podium place for those pro-am class. Luke Crum in 11th. Wayne Edwards, Jack Anderson, Matt Feely, Mark Turner, John Gallen, Mike Cochran. Chris Tomlin wraps up the AMs with Dougie Gowans in 19th place. Then on from that one, Russell Gander in 20th, Vic Valen in 21st, Kevin Wakefield in 22nd. That's your 1, 2, 3 in the AMs. Brad Hayes, Greg Johnson, Brad Anderson, Josh King, Ryan Price, Brendan Soper and Phil Buckland. Then you got Stephanie Pickley, Carl Gretsch, Dylan DeBono, Shane Nowens, Caleb Baddock, Ben Simpson, Marty Walker, Sam Katkizunis, Josh Houghton down in 38th place. Then the bottom 4 did not take to the start there. So very interesting evening of racing, Steve, really.
It was. I just heard in my ear that that drive into the pit lane was for a drive-through you had to serve before the end of the race. So that's why you went through. So it was race-related. Mate, this is... I'm glad it's the last super sprint because it gets rid of some of the carnage. You couldn't have wanted to finish in a better way than a super sprint with rain. So pressure on top of pressure. And the quality of the driving out there tonight, I'll tell you what, though, Ben Soper masterclass. Not Ben Soper, Ben Faulkner masterclass. He is one hell of a driver out there, mate. One hell of a driver.
Yeah, he seems to wrap up the rain very well there and does an absolutely stellar job. We've got quite a few people waiting for interviews, Steve. Who would you like to go to and have a chat to first?
Well, what do we got in there? Let's start from the back and work our way up. So I believe it's Chris Tomlin, then Mitch, and then we'll go all the way up to Ben Faulkner so that he doesn't need to get rushed, being that he's the champion of the night. So I'll drag in Mr. Chops, we call him, Chris Tomlin. Mr. Chris Tomlin, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad? Did you enjoy that? That's two podiums tonight.
It was 3 podiums because I got a first, second, and first. So
First,
yeah,
second,
podied them all.
that should pretty much take the round for the AMs tonight, I think.
Yeah, it was well, considering I didn't know it was going to rain until team boss was like, "Yeah, it's raining." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Have you done much road work?
Nope.
No.
Didn't even do any practice. Didn't even do no practice laps. I tried to do 1 lap, and screwed that. So I was like, yep, we'll just wing it.
So maybe you're just a wet natural.
Yeah, I'm like a gizzy in like an AM perspective. I do like the wet races.
Yeah, look, you know what? You've been mid-pack AMs so far this season, and then to get up the podium for three races in a row for a super sprint, that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, but I think the main thing that helped was keeping my nose clean and avoiding all the turn 1 carnage. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a smart way to go, mate. Smart way to go. Crummy's going, yeah, LCR.
Yeah, good old Crummy.
Well done. So how did you enjoy tonight?
Oh, it was pretty good. Yeah, just as I said, just basically just trying to keep the nose clean of the car, and we just made heaps of spots. Wasn't even really paying attention to where I was. I had one of my spotters in my ear telling me where I was, how many seconds like the next car was behind from watching the stream and stuff. So I was getting some feedback back from him, which was good. It did help in some spots.
Yeah. Excellent, mate. Well, look, it sounds like you had fun. Still got the adrenaline buzz, or you done?
Yeah, it's still a little bit nerves, but she'll be right.
Excellent, mate. Looking forward to the rest of the season. You're going to put a big one out there. Could be an AMS championship on the line.
Well, if I can stay in the AMS championship, if I don't get relegated to Pro-Am, I should be right.
Excellent, mate. All right, dude. Who do you thank and who supports you to get you on track?
Well, the funny thing is that our sponsors are changing, and the boss man hasn't updated me with all the sponsors, so we'll just go with the boss man for being there, let me be a part of the team and stuff. And then all the other sponsors that are on the car, I'm not 100% sure what they are at the moment. So, but yeah, thanks to all them and all my mates that support me doing this every week in, week out.
Excellent, mate. Well, you know what? Good luck for the rest of the season. Good to see you up there at the fighting end of the pack, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. You finally got to chat to me on the podium.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I did watch the broadcast back last week, and you was getting a bit excited, but yeah, you got it this week.
Yeah, I did. I thought you were going to get up there, and I must have given you a bit of a jinx. I reckon this tonight. There's a few times I was looking. Oh, it looks like my boy's up there. Then I keep looking in the corner of my eye. I can see Thompson's doing all right tonight. He's slowly creeping up. I didn't want to give you the miles. Well done, mate.
It's all good. Just another trophy to add to the cabinet.
Excellent, mate. Oh, it's going to be a full cabinet, that's for sure. All right, take care, dude.
Thank you. See ya.
All righty, mate. Get to be Mitch Noble. Mr. Noble, are you the same person that raced last season and had to have time off for penalty points and stuff like that?
I think I am. I'm not too sure.
Great night tonight, mate.
Thank you. Thank you. It felt good.
Felt good.
First time racing in the rain too.
Yeah, well, first time for a lot of people by the sounds of it. Bit of a natural in the wet, by the look of it.
Yeah, the car worked. It felt really good. I didn't have any major issues. Just my driving style worked really well in the wet.
Yes, it was nice. There was a few times you gave me a few palpitations where you were racing with cars out of your class, and I was like, Mitch, watch what you're doing. So I was thinking you're going to lose the front line. But you did well, mate. You did really well. Under brakes, everything like that, curbs and everything like that. You got in a few little incidents here and there, but it was all in all, you felt good.
Yeah, it felt good. Turn 1 on the last race got a little bit hairy. That was a bit scary, but managed to hold it. And there was an instant in race 1. I think I went 5 or 4 wide down the inside on the back straight and pulled it up in front of the pack, which was good.
So you're going to be dreaming about this race tonight, aren't you?
Oh, I'm buzzing. I'm having a good time.
JP, you want to ask Mitch any questions?
It could have. But luckily everyone on track was able to keep it somewhat clean through turn 1, which helped.
That was a surprising thing to me. JP was surprised about how clean that actual. Well, there was incidents left, right, and centre, but the amount of carnage that was down. Do you think everyone was just a little bit more weary tonight?
I think so, but coming into it, all of us, Josh, myself, Brad, and Jamie, were all thinking that there was going to be a massive pile up turn 1, but there wasn't. It was quite surprising.
Excellent. The last question: are you ready for the rest of the season? Because now you've stepped up onto the step a bit more. Are you getting the taste for it? Is it going to be a little bit more practice going in? What's the plan?
I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. It seems to be working. So I'm ready for the rest of the season. Definitely. Feels good this time. Yeah.
That's good to see, mate. Do you know who you need to thank for that supports the TBS?
Oh, you dropped out there, Steve. And I'm going to say this as sponsors. I'd like to give a shout out to Warren and Brown, Shannon's, Grim Industries, Neuropower, and DSL Rail Services.
Well done, mate. Well done. Great work. All right, dude. Good luck for the rest of the season, and I'll catch you on the practice track and in the chin wagon and chats. Good luck, mate. Well done. Cheers.
Too easy, Steve. Thank you.
All right, JP. Who was third? Was it Jamie? Jamie Davis is third in there. Mr. Davis, how you doing, mate? Another podium out there. We did have a bit of a sneaky chat with you between heat 2 and 3. How did you feel out there? How did it go?
Yeah, no, not too bad. I got more comfortable with the wet as the races went on, but yeah, I done it the hard way with jumping the start in race 1.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about the jump start. You had to go through the pits. We did mention it, and when we were watching it, and then I was like watching the race as we're going along. Where the hell did Jamie go? But that makes sense now. My brain went blank. All right, so the jump start sucks, but I think in the last heat you got yourself a good run. Mitch backed them up a little bit on the right hand side. Was it hard to get these cars off the line in the wet?
No, I found it all right. I got the good jump and managed to take the lead, and then copped a little tap in the rear end that sent me wide, and And then the rest was just tagging on the back, trying to play catch up a bit. But yeah, not too bad to get it off the line. Just control the wheel spin.
You had a nice battle with Gallo there for a while, going too wide in the S's, the first corner, second corner, third corner. How hairy was that for you in the cockpit?
No, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, pretty respectful. Everyone here, so I knew I could go door to door, and it wouldn't result in too much drama.
I think that's a big difference, isn't it? You know that you can go door to door here and not get punted, and if it does happen, we know it's an accident.
Yeah, especially the weather conditions too. So like as long as it's not a blatant hip and shoulder off the track, you always expect door rubbing. Just lose a bit of grip on the inside when it's slicker.
Yeah, excellent, mate. Well, mate, it looks like you got the team all primed. Josh was doing really well at one point. I know he lost a few places here and there. I thought he was going to take an AM podium at one point. So you got the team all fired up and primed, which is really good. I noticed the other night you guys were all out there practicing too, I think.
No, I missed out on a bit of practice this week. Work's starting to get a bit more hectic, so the sim time's getting a bit less.
All right, mate, make sure it doesn't affect your performance, all right? I have to get the big boss hand there on you.
I'll try not to. I'll sneak it in when I can.
No joking. Life comes first, family comes first, life second when you're male in the house. Look, mate, I'll let you go so you can go and relax. Do you remember who brings us online and who gets us going?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Warren and Brown Tools, Shannon's, Grim Industries, Neuro Power, DSL Railway Services, and just thank you to all the competitors. Race Control had their work cut out for them the last couple of weeks, and yourself, Steve, and JP. Thank you very much.
Excellent, mate. Well, you enjoy the rest of the night, mate. We'll speak to you hopefully next week on the podium.
No worries. I'll give it my best shot. Thank you.
Take care, mate. All right, we'll get Mr. Daniel Byrne up here. Mr. Byrne, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. How are you guys going?
Oh, yeah, loving life when it's a race night like tonight. Yeah, super sprint, and to top it off, wet and raining. How was it for you, mate? How did you feel out there?
It was on edge. Took a lot of concentration. It's probably my first full kind of race in the wet, and in this car as well. So it was a handful. I started on the back foot, qualified really badly, chose the wrong tyre to go out on. Qualified really badly. Got stuck kind of in the back middle pack. And geez, there was a lot of drama going on back there. Cars going off everywhere and bumping, and it was hectic, but it was so much fun as well at the same time. So yeah, great.
That looked like fun. I love big packs. I just thrive on that sort of stuff. I like the hustle and bustle and having to pick the line and get through stuff like that. So it looked like it was a bit like that. Race 3, yourself and Gallo up the front. It looked like Gallo was trying to hold off Ben for as long as possible, but he's just on another level tonight, Ben, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's on another level every night, I think. He's super quick, and we knew it was inevitable. He was going to get past David, and he was probably going to get past me. So David just did what he could, battled, tried to keep it clean, obviously, and I tried to do the same. But he's just got so much pace over us guys. I was having a chat with him just a second ago, and I was trying to get some tips off him. So he's giving me a couple of tips for a setup, because I just run the basic iRacing setup with lower fuel. So he's giving me a couple of tips. So hopefully in the coming weeks we might be a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, setup is key. Is important in this car. You can't just run the standard rig, especially when you want to be at the pointy end. I've seen what some of these boys do and how they throw these cars around. Jamie Christensen was a perfect example. He had the high friction brakes going. He had no traction control. Obviously, not a lot like tonight. He would throw that car around like a crazy man. So well done, mate. Well, excellent to see you on track. Excellent to see you enjoying it and having a great run, mate. Hopefully, with this update on your setup, you might push up the pointy end a bit more often.
I hope so. Yeah, that'd be great. We'll see how we go.
All right, mate. Who brings Carlin Motorsports to the forefront and on TV and in SRW?
Yeah. Just shout outs to Carlin's Motorsport, Drive Radar 8 on YouTube, Glam Radar, Little Rah Rah, wines from Victoria's popular Piran Vineyard, Eagers Automotive, and shout outs to Atari, Bianca, Frenchie and Minka, Zach and Levi, and also big birthday shout out to Bianca. Happy birthday.
Well done, mate. Absolute legend. Have fun, mate, and we'll see you next week. And good luck.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you then.
Cheers, buddy.
Bye.
Mr. Faulkner, tonight was another example of some superb driving, and I heard you even giving some tips out as well.
Oh yeah, he was giving me some questions about the setup and give out some tips. So I don't mind too much as long as it's not the whole setup, because everything comes together. But either way, it's good racing.
You guys work hard with that your setup, so you can't give them too much information, but let the boys work out the bits and pieces they have to, mate. Obviously happy with the setup. I noticed that when you were fighting with De Bono in, I think it was race 2, his rear end looked a little bit less stable than yours. Or it might not be his stability, it might have been his foot control, but you were just planted coming out of the apexes, mate. You were doing unbelievable setup as well as rig, I guess, and foot control.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was taking a bit of a shallow line and just running over the puddles, which I saw kicked out his rear quite a bit. Also the curbings just in front of me he was using, and I think he stopped using them once he got behind me because he realised they were a bit sketchy. But yeah, I think it was probably a bit of foot control. The setup probably doesn't really help in that scenario too much. His setup's probably relatively close to mine. Probably just a couple of different things that just suit my driving style, but that's about it. I usually run it pretty sideways anyway, so I'm used to driving in the rain. It's also one of my strengths in real life racing, so it's something I enjoy doing a bit more than the dry as well.
Yeah, I did notice that me and JP were talking about it, and we said that Dylan's aggressive line over the chicanes is probably something that's costing him some pace. Is the wet in iRacing offline and on the chicanes, like on the curbs and stuff? Is it a bit more realistic? Is it a lot slipperier than and sort of brings it to reality? Like, can the rear end be lost easier on there as well?
Yeah, I mean, these conditions were a bit weird because it wasn't really that wet. It wasn't really dry enough. So it was a bit in the middle, a bit weird. But in the second and third race, you were more offline. Race 1, pretty much the whole time I was just on the racing line. You could still use the curbs in some places. But yeah, in the second and third race, the rear did kick out quite a bit if you're either on the curbs or touch one of the puddles or stand in water. So yeah, it is pretty realistic in that factor. It's pretty much the same. But yeah, it was very different and difficult conditions where it's a bit confusing because you think it's pretty dry, but it's not at all.
Yeah, well, on the screen for us it looks dry, but I know that out there the gauge is the rooster tail on how wet it's going to be out there. That's the only way you can really sort of gauge it sometimes, isn't it? No, lost you. So, last question before Rohan is actually going to be racing the V8s. How do you compare with pace with him?
Sorry, you cut out there for me. Could you say that again?
You know, young Rohan.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be racing the V8s as of this week onwards. How do you compare with pace with him, and where are you guys sort of compatibility wise?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of boys that are preparing for Logi upcoming, so we're they're sort of doing the other leagues and other races to prepare. Logi's very competitive, so pretty much any races help. I think there might be a few more boys jumping in. Rayhan's a very good driver. Worked with his dad Laz a few times in the past. They do very well with setups and how they drive. They're very on top of it. So yeah, he's a good driver and keen to see other boys go against him in the next few races.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see. All right, mate. As I think the title is already swaying your way, the boys are going to be practicing hard as they can. Your schedule is going to be okay for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think every other race I should be fine. It was pretty much just the one I was in Melbourne last week that I couldn't make it. which I completely forgot about. But yeah, other than that, I think so far should be clear for every race from now on, so it should be awesome.
Excellent, mate. Well, congratulations. Fantastic drive tonight, mate. It was a masterclass. Who do you need to thank get you out on track, mate?
Well, of course, Doing Okay, Jack Doohan, Vermilion Motorsports, Berlin Motor Group, Burb Designs, Supernova Motorsports, Hymo Setups, Vermilion X Coaching, which is our professional coaching at an affordable price, and yeah, all the boys in the team and you guys for bringing on a great event and a great broadcast.
Excellent, mate. Well, congratulations again, and all the best for the rest of the season, dude.
Awesome. Thanks, boys.
Cheers, mate. JP, have I put you to sleep?
I was listening to you talking to them all. You know what I mean? There's a lot to digest, isn't there, from everybody? You know, people sounded happy, people didn't sound happy. I think the rain in general is just always going to be tough, Steve, and I think it's going to be the ebb and flow over the season if we get rain again. I think they've got to do a lot more practice to catch up with Ben Faulkner. I think Ben at the moment is on a different level. Yeah, some may say he's a little bit more aggressive than needed, but that's motorsport and that's racing.
Oh mate, he's next level. He's a super fast guy. So all it's Rubbins racing. It's all safe. It's all clean. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's going to wrap it up here tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz here as well. And from us up here in the SRW TV booth, I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Steve Sinkovic. Take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mosman and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Reece Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us.